Go sit right there. All right, Denny, sit in my chair real quick. Huh? Denny, sit in my chair. Is that DeAndre?
Yeah.
Sit in my chair. Sit in this chair right here. Make sure we got it. What's going on?
Oh, yeah. Oh, here you go.
All right. Come over here, Rob.
What's up, man? All right. How you doing? I'm good. Good. How you been?
Good. You're hitting away from him, huh?
Absolutely.
Come right here, DeAndre.
You ready for a good year?
Yes, sir.
Good. Good luck down there.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, a couple things.
Have a good showing.
That's always on.
Ryan, it's in there now.
It's Facebook Live. So
Okay, great.
even on breaks.
Even on breaks. Just make sure. Well, I mean, yeah, actually, we ain't got nothing to lose. My eligibility is up. Scoot up a little bit.
See ya.
All right, cool. All right, just want to make sure we got everybody.
Did you really not bring your headphones?
I forgot.
I bought you headphones and you still didn't bring them?
Man, I forgot my laptop last time, bro.
I didn't buy you the laptop.
Should we get the intern in?
Huh?
Should we like push the thing back if we get?
We
it
need
in?
to get something like,
Yeah, that's a lot more. I was just trying to put that towards you. Rob, scoot over.
man, I don't want to
Never. I don't think you want shit that close to you.
I like you, man.
Resend send out the
I want you sitting that close.
retweet the deal. What am I talking about? The Facebook Live video.
All right, so I stayed up all freaking night watching that.
Tomorrow, we did it last night or the night before?
Last night.
Last night.
Yeah, we watched the
First
first
three
couple
episodes.
episodes, and then Angie's like, "Oh, this is good stuff."
It was really good. And you know, this year it was a lot longer. You know, last year it was like 45 minutes. This
Yeah,
year,
you know that.
What's
You
your
say
Twitter?
that.
Dre down 14. DREDADON 14.
Oh, DREDA.
DON 14.
It's a lot, man.
Dre down.
That's what you got.
But I thought they did a good job. Like, I thought they did very. I was telling James when I watched the first three. I thought they did a good job of like diving into the past of some of those kids.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like,
You know,
it kind of made some sense.
Right.
But they didn't do that coach any favors.
Are he really that crazy?
it really is. Like, we would be out like during like practice or during the game, and he'll just like he would pick a fight with them guys like every day. He'll see them like where they at. Just
No, I
start going in. You
I
know,
can do it, man.
he like he'll look at them. He'll go push their camera away, all types of stuff, man. Like he fed into the camera a lot.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't work.
Me neither, man.
Yeah, well, I saw what he told. I mean, even though he earned it, like in the first game when he messed up the play call, but like,
Oh yeah.
you're not finna,
Yeah,
like,
you
you ain't finna curse me.
No, you should see the
yeah,
last
yeah.
one. You should see the last one.
Yeah, what's about last episode?
Yeah.
And the guy been with him for 9 years, man.
Yeah.
And the guy is the brain behind the whole operation.
The OC,
Yeah.
he just, oh man,
You
I
gotta see.
got,
Like, that's what we gotta be careful of here. Is that we're gonna promote that, of course. We'll get into some other stuff too.
man, spoilers. Like, how long that thing been out?
Like a week though.
Oh, right.
Man,
Yeah, it hadn't been.
Oh, my bad. Like,
Yeah.
listen, nah, listen.
No, you can't.
African American culture, power spoiled. Like we do spoilers, man. Like, shoot, get over yourself.
Yeah, he got it.
Like, shoot,
You got like 13 hours of content in 3 days, man.
I tried to watch a lot of that.
No, they did a good job. I like last year we talked about it on here.
You know, what really surprised me was how they went inside Kahoma. You know, and
that was a trip, bro.
Down 92.5 FM. This is the Sports Den with Denny Thompson and James Coleman on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It is the Sports Den, brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, coming to you from Thin MD Med Spa Studios. Dang, start the show when the wife walks in?
Yeah. What is there some
What? What's the problem?
headsets?
What?
The bootleg head? Oh, there we go. All right, now I'm good.
I bought you headsets, and you still didn't bring them.
I forgot them, man. I left them at the house. They're actually on the couch, still packaged and all nice and stuff.
You ain't even charged them up?
You got to charge them up,
Yeah.
man. This
This is but Southside Tallahassee boys don't get all this kind of stuff, man.
See.
That's too fancy for me.
You've had beats before.
Oh, that's a good point. I guess I really can't play that card when I've had beats, broke beats, lost beats.
Now you just don't use them?
Now I just don't use
If
them.
you're going to use them, let me know. I'll give them to my son.
No, I'm going to use them. I just forgot them for this show. I'll have them. Well, never mind. I won't be here Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll have them for the next show I'm here.
Yeah.
Probably.
It is the Sports Den on a Monday night, brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, coming to you from Thin MD Med Spa Studio. We're going to get into our points in just a second, but first off, let's go ahead and get this. Let's go ahead and get point number 1 out the way. We'll go 6 points, right? That's how we start every show. 6 points brought to you by my quarterback training place. 6 points, Jacks, on all the social media. If you want to train, come train. If you don't, that's fine too. Whatever you want to do, I'm good with.
Such a strong selling point.
Yeah. So you watched any Last Chance U?
Yeah, I got a chance to watch 3 episodes.
3? We stayed up till 1:32 last night, finishing.
No offense to dude, it's Game of Thrones is on, Power.
Really?
Ballers.
Really?
Which this guy hopefully will
Really?
one day
Game of
be
Thrones.
on.
Game of Thrones.
Dude, Game of Thrones is where it's at, bro.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah. I love Game of Thrones, especially yesterday. Was a whole bunch of good action going on. I ain't gonna give no spoilers just in case. I'll spoil something else, but I won't spoil. See, people take their Game of Thrones seriously. I might have people in the parking lot waiting for me if I tell them what's going on.
You got secure parking now. They got to get in the gate.
Yeah.
But
That's okay.
DeAndre
We'll get our
Johnson, the
goons.
local guy, was like featured on it.
Yeah. It was cool.
Did you at least see that?
Yeah, I saw that, like, from out the gate. And then episode 2 was pretty much about his. We'll get into that. I got some questions that I want to ask him, but I'm hurt. I was hurt by the whole situation. Not from what he did, but I'm a know till I die.
Wow.
And I was happy. But the cool thing is that I respect not shying away from the issues.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, that guy is, one thing I learned is, paying your penance, 700 people in Mississippi. I tell everybody, it's 2 states. 2 states that you'll never see. If you see James Coleman in these 2 states, I'm kidnapped.
Okay.
Or they paid a lot, like they gave me a percentage of the
gross domestic product.
Yeah, in them states. But and then 700 people, and then just the first episode, the interviews, or I think it might have been the second one, whatever, when they started interviewing the locals, and I'm like, yo, that's just that's what I see in my nightmares.
So you're not going to go vacation in Scuba, Mississippi?
Nah, I didn't even it didn't even make sense. I'm like, Scuba? When they said it, I'm thinking it's going to be in one of the big, national championships, probably going to be in one of the few cities they actually have in Mississippi.
Name a city.
Pascagoula, but I only know about that because that's where
of Kez. Name another one. There you go. So when you said big city.
One of them's got like a casino in it, right?
Biloxi.
There we go.
Yeah.
Something like that.
How about we get the guy, the expert on it, DeAndre Johnson, in with us. Just going to hang out a little bit. We're going to talk some last chance you, and there's a bunch of other stuff. DeAndre, how you doing? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing yourself?
Great. The last time you were in?
I think I was going off to Florida State.
It was the Saturday after signing day.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
You and J-Dub came in.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Yep. And that was the last time DeAndre came in with us. A lot's happened in 2 years, bro.
Sure did.
So thanks for joining us. You're going to hang out a little while. We're going to catch up, get into some Last Chance U stuff, hear your thoughts on it. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. It's been out, what did we say, 3 days?
3 days.
3 days.
I
Go
thought it had
catch
been
it.
out for like a minute, so I was about to tell y'all all this story. I'm like, oh, did you see what happened right now?
You don't even know you watched 3 episodes.
I can give you detailed. I took notes, kinda.
You took notes.
I live tweeted the first 3 episodes. So
Did you really?
Not really.
I don't even pay attention to your
I was
social
just
media
joking.
anymore.
Yeah, you shouldn't, because I'll blow your feed up. His dad's a friend of mine on Facebook. He probably just be like, man, there's something wrong with this dude, man. I gotta.
Earl got some play, man.
Yeah, he's like, is he gonna piggyback that into some other acting deals? Your mom, they gonna get some? Did they get? Actually, you can't get paid.
I can't.
But can they get paid for being on it? Or is that impermissible
no.
benefit?
Yeah.
Okay.
NCAA got all types of rules.
That's
nowadays,
terrible.
Okay, I got a question for you then. Let's get right in there. So when you were decided to go there,
right,
to East Mississippi, okay, did the show play into that at all?
It actually didn't in a way, because I didn't really find out about the show until I took the visit to East Mississippi. Initially, I wasn't going to go, Because I'm like, I didn't want to go during college.
Mhm.
But the option, what really played a factor was being able to sit out a year.
Yeah.
I had 2 quarterbacks that I was going to play. So that was my initial response to go out there, to red shirt, sit out a year, and and just have a year of eligibility left, and I get back to Division I.
Who's the Jerry Curl dude that's barking in the stand? Like, and what is his purpose? Because that threw me off. Like, I'm like, man, see, that's why I don't want to go to. I'm afraid I'll go to Mississippi.
You'll
and
turn
then-
into
and
that?
I'll turn into that because I don't even know what his purpose is.
Yeah, we just called him Lion Man. Lion Man, like you would see this guy. See, you really didn't really see how he really act. I wish they'd have got the scenes for him, like at the basketball games and the pep rallies. Like he would come out during halftime, and he would get out on the floor, and they would play a theme song for him, and he would start break dancing and spinning on his elbow and doing the lion roar, 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 and hop up in the stands, hop his leg up. Oh my God, that guy there was a character.
Yeah,
So does he
Everybody
work?
loved him.
Does he work there?
I no, he don't. He don't. He's just
He's just a local.
town local and very big East Mississippi supporter.
Had your family's from New York.
Yeah.
Did y'all?
it makes sense. Because I'm like, dude, you don't sound anything like somebody from the South.
Have you talked to Earl for more than 5 minutes?
Yeah, but it's just I don't know. But my mom's born and bred in New Jersey, and I was up there. But shoot, I think I'm a Southern boy. I think I have a draw.
Oh, when
I
did you move
tried.
here?
We moved here in 2005.
Okay, so he's been
When
here.
were you
long,
born?
though.
I was born in '96.
Oh man, yeah, he been here. He's
Yeah.
Southern. He a Florida boy. He more Florida than he is New York.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. But what my point is they went from New York to Mississippi. Like, give me a more extreme
Nah,
circumstance.
time out. Jacksonville ain't quite. We're
No,
a
dude.
big city, but we're not a booming
No,
metropolis.
tell
It
me
ain't
you didn't-
Miami.
Tell me you didn't sit in those little whatever that is they got y'all living in out there and
Those
go.
dorms wasn't that bad. I've seen way worse dorm. Hold up. All
Where?
right. So, all right, not the Burt. Did y'all stay in the Burt? No, the Burt. Y'all don't stay at the Burt no more at Florida State. Y'all had actually, my bad. Y'all got really nice stuff. My bad, because you're welcome, by the way. But
Hey,
but anyways, like, did you ever go check out Smith Hall
No, we didn't.
or any other like the dorms that regular students stay in at FSU?
they weren't like that. There's no
That's
way.
Way worse. They used to call them the projects. Smith Hall, at Kellum.
You know what?
They didn't have no carpet. It was just cold floor, and it was roaches and rat. I actually dated a girl for a little bit.
Well, that's your fault.
From out of there. Well, no, I dated her in high school. We kind of transferred over. It wasn't her fault that she was middle class. She went from middle class to that. But anyways, dude, let's get these 6 points in so that we can actually have
Get
our
into
show,
this.
so we can get into this.
You know what? All right, whatever the 6 points are, they are.
No,
So,
dude, we gotta have this.
You got
this is
6
what
points?
we do, yes.
Intern, you
yes,
got 6
I
points?
got it.
Here.
I got
you
it.
got it, go.
DeAndre's 2 of them. NFL predictions. What they have predicted every team what their record will be is some no name website that got Jags fans upset. And in the USA Today, we got Willie Smith Jags preview, Gator recruiting, and we're gonna have a specialist come in and talk about one of their guys.
You know Quincy Avery?
I do.
Okay, Q's
Very
coming on
well.
later. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And speaking of that, we're gonna have the top 10 SEC quarterbacks of all time. And
Top 10 what?
SEC
Quarterbacks
of all time. There's a list that
Dude,
came
you
out
gotta
that
like
was
give me a
interesting.
heads up on this.
Dude, you don't ever give me a heads up on anything.
I don't ever throw anything at you like that.
Yes, you do. You're like, hey, don't read this article because I just read this and I want you to be
But
shocked.
it's not a top 10.
Like, dude, all right, so now you know about it. Think about 10 quarterbacks in the SEC that you would think. And then I already said the 2. So 2 of him, and that's 4 other stuff. And then the intern's got some other good stuff that we'll try to get
I'm
in
not
there.
talking about LeVar Ball.
Nah, I'm tired of talking about
I'm
LeVar
done
Ball.
with him.
We're not talking about Cap. Tired of talking about that.
This man wrote famous fat Penn State kicker no longer with the team.
Whoa, really? Everybody knew about the fat kicker because he was hitting people and then somebody squared him up.
That's a headline right there.
Somebody squared him up.
Yeah? Okay. Can't talk about Chipotle. I like Chipotle. I ain't doing
Chipotle
you're
is
not doing
terrible,
that.
dude. It's not
You're
good
not
for
doing
you.
that.
I'm trying to look. He's trying to look out for you. If they keep getting busted for E. coli, it's a problem. Like 1 time, 2 times, but like 20, it's an issue.
I ain't
man.
never had. I'm good. I had never been sick.
Just put some queso on it. You'll be all right.
All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we're going to get into this with DeAndre. Go through, let's just go through since the last time he was here.
Okay, that sounds good.
I mean, we can wrap that up in a couple segments. He ain't done nothing. It's
Yeah.
been boring, right? Probably ain't even heard his name in 2 years. Just pops up on Netflix.
That's it.
We'll be right back.
There's some bad dorms in there.
Yeah, I remember.
But no, actually, I didn't think
They just tore them down.
yeah, they did just tell us. I didn't think y'all dorm. I mean, I've seen worse dorms.
Man, them doors horrible. Like,
Maybe they just look better on TV.
Yeah, they did because the way the room, the cameras.
They didn't look good on TV.
You know, because like,
It look like a little raggedy hotel. I mean, not a raggedy hotel. It look like an old hotel.
old motel, all right? Because the bathroom was shared with the closet. You know, so how you had your closet inside the bathroom?
Did you have a roommate?
I did, like the last half of the season I did, yeah. First half, no. But it was crazy, man.
That other quarterback actually looked pretty well.
Which one?
The long hair.
Oh, VJ.
You got better?
I mean, they use him like Wildcat.
Oh, okay. I mean, no offense to him, but the first 3 games, I was just like, yo.
No, but you can tell like dude had a good arm.
I mean, yeah, he did.
A lot more.
I mean, the way he chunked it,
They just so long,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
baseball throw. You know, he went pro.
Oh,
baseball?
Yeah.
I know he talked about he was good in baseball, but football.
Yeah, he left me. He said, "Get it." I'm going pro.
Well, that's the first question because he said he threw 93.
Yeah.
And I looked at her, I'm like, why is he in scuba playing football?
I've done 93.
I really think that because his brother was the quarterback at Ole Miss last year. On the way home, got to a car accident and died. And kind of went to do it for his brother.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so it was tragic. You know, I don't know how he was able to, you know, bounce back from that. You know, in good spirits.
Hey, man, I got you a dollar. All right.
We don't wear Florida State here.
How you know it was a Florida State one? It could be a Minnesota Vikings.
We don't do that.
Are y'all out of town? Oh, you are. Or all of you. I know you are.
Jenny, always on. Trey, I ain't seen Trey.
Your wife asked me when we were going to do slip and slide.
Oh yeah, we'll be like,
Will y'all be back?
She won't be back until next Saturday. I would drop Trey off and y'all can slip and slide all day. I know he's gonna.
We can
I ain't
slip and slide all day?
I ain't seen him in a minute, so I already know my tolerance level is gonna be just
Y'all
way
remember my
down.
wife, Andrew?
No, I haven't.
Are you looking at the text? Are you looking at this?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
All right, just making sure
Nice
you
to
doing
meet
your
you.
job.
Your mom said
We enjoy
that Trey
watching
said
your
hi.
show.
Huh?
Thank
Your
you.
mom
That's
said that
awesome.
Trey said hi.
Is Cam
Oh, is Trey
as
with?
big of a whiny baby as he is in that show?
Yeah, Ken was just lazy.
I know. I was like, I want to just punch this kid. You know, quick.
Hey, Ken was just lazy. That was all.
Trey's watching the show.
Yeah.
You heard
He
me?
said,
That's nice to meet you.
no, your mom is.
You ready to go?
Well, if she said my son says hi, I'm pretty sure my son
Oh,
is
is Trey
watching the
watching?
show.
Hey, go wave at Trey. Trey's watching the show.
So now I can't curse. Well, nah, he knows I curse, so it's all good. He only picks up his
Say
mother's
hi,
curse
Trey.
words.
But Dan said he's glad to see you back in regular clothes.
Oh, yeah?
All right, well, we're going to head out before the next segment.
Yeah, okay.
I just wanted to say, hey, I had to meet him after watching on TV.
Let's snap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have my phone, Jamie. Walker, you want to come get in it? No?
Sure.
No?
Is it on?
You like that?
Yo, is it what? Is it coming up?
You got to make sure he's
On your phone?
looking at me.
Yeah, I got
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right, well, I'll be listening.
You said the
We're
car
gonna
with
go.
James' big head on.
James got his head in there?
And my head's everywhere.
This is good.
You getting a lot of
Bye, we're
love
gonna
on
go.
Facebook.
I am?
Yeah.
Hey.
All right.
Angelo said, shout out to DeAndre Johnson. I'm rooting for you, homie.
Bye, guys.
Appreciate it.
Cigars are way in there.
Oh, yeah.
Jason said, good on you, DeAndre. You shined the last chance you should have gotten a chance at a major school. Light it up at FAU.
Sounds good. Last time I was
I'll
on.
ask you this one. Okay.
Now I'ma tell the world, tell 'em, I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Tell the world, tell 'em, yeah, I'ma be a
You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You are listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, coming to you from ThinMD Med Spa Studios. ABC, there's one everywhere in Florida.
In Florida. Unfortunately, man, it's not it needs to be everywhere. They need to I understand it's a family
at least regional.
brand. Yeah, going to Georgia, that would be going to Scuba, Mississippi. I'm sure they partake in libations.
You think?
You know,
I think Mississippi's still dry on Sundays though.
That's Mississippi. And actually, in Georgia, is Georgia like that too?
Some counties.
Okay.
You know, Atlanta's not.
Well, yeah, Atlanta. Did you go? Where you went on your visits?
In for college?
Yeah, for college. Like when you was coming out.
Oh, just Florida State.
You just went? Okay.
Dude committed like what? Your freshman, sophomore year?
Freshman year.
Hey, listen, I tell people all the time, just because I'm Florida State through and through, but plane, drive trips, you don't really get a chance. Some people don't get a chance to do.
Where'd you take yours? You go to Miami?
I went down there to Miami. I went up to Atlanta. I had a ball. Like Atlanta.
You went to Tech?
I went to actually did a solid for my doctor who went to Morehouse. He was a Morehouse
you told
man.
me that. Yeah.
The best visit I ever had. It was crazy. They made sure there was enough women, because my first thing was like, dude, you ain't gonna put me in no all boys school. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. But Spelman's right there. It's an all girls school. It's very convenient.
So it balances it out?
It balances it out. But it's like I learned about Atlanta. I had been to Atlanta a lot, but they party Sunday to Sunday. Not Saturday. Sunday to the next Sunday. The only stop in between is
That's
church.
what's getting Ezekiel Elliott in trouble in Dallas.
Yeah. Well,
Let's get back to Last Chance U. So DeAndre Johnson joining us, FAU quarterback right now. Mm-hmm. How good does that feel?
Feels great, man. Just feel like FAU gave me a second chance.
Yeah.
Grateful for that.
Along those lines, I don't like the name of the show.
Right.
I really don't. I thought about this yesterday. Like, Last Chance U, I don't know that it's to sell. But, can we be real? It's football. And, yeah, to some of those dudes, it's life. But it ain't like if you get out of there, don't get out of there. It's a wrap for your life.
So I get where it's coming from.
You know what I mean?
I think it's more so last chance for you to get a chance to play football.
It's a second chance.
Or actually, let's not just because he's here. I remember when my coaches used to call JUCO. JUCO's the land of misfit toys. Mm-hmm. You see a whole bunch of guys that are great, but there's something wrong with them. Mentally, they got in trouble or something happened. So, like, if you don't make it in JUCO, the odds are high that you probably not going to get bounced to another JUCO. Plus, the timing is so small. Mm-hmm. You only really have two, and if you I guess some people do it 3 years, but then you really aren't as appealing to the major D1s.
So you coming out now, you've got 3 years left?
Yes, 3 years.
So you took your red shirt.
Right.
And then last year was technically your freshman year, your redshirt freshman year.
Right.
And then so you've got 3 at FAU.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's backtrack a little bit, just and how you got, and everybody knows the story. I am not into reliving all that stuff. Why though? You mentioned that the show didn't have a whole lot to do with it. Why East Mississippi, if the show wasn't part of it?
Well, I knew I wanted to go somewhere and just be out of the limelight, out of the picture. And Scuba was a town of 711 people.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a place to go over there, and just rebuild my image up, stay out the media for about a year or so. And it was a winning program,
mm-hmm.
And I wanted to go there and win a championship, and just get re-recruited. That was the whole goal, and just to have a year to be able to sit out.
So did you have a good idea of what you were getting into? Like
I did.
You really did? So nothing really surprised you? I've known you for what? Since what? 9th, 10th grade?
Freshman year.
Yeah. You're a pretty focused dude.
Right.
And have always been. So was your mindset going in there, just put my head down and get through it?
That's exactly what it was. I hate to say it, but I treated that as like going to jail.
Yeah.
That was my mindset. I want to do my time and get out of here. I want to have no problems. I just want to, get in, get out, rebuild my image up, show people who I really am, and get on to bigger and better things.
So, because you don't have any academic problems.
No.
So it really was just for you finding a way to get back on the field, spend 3 months somewhere, get re-recruited.
Right. That was the plan, but, it didn't really work out like that.
Talk about that. Talk about from the time you got there, kind of what the expectations were from the recruitment standpoint.
Okay.
And how it kind of, where it ended up at. How did it end up going?
Well, initially, you know, everybody told me, you know, right now it's post leaving Florida State. All right, you gotta go junior college. You're gonna have to play a season. You know, I'm thinking 'cause I just got there, I'm gonna play a season, and I'll be ready to go. But by me already being enrolled at Florida State and not graduating, I had to stay for 2 seasons. And I'm like, oh man, are you serious? So that just hit me blindsided, you know, and so that just messed my whole plans up. And by me going to East, you know, I wanted to sit out a year. A lot of other junior college did not want me to sit out a year.
Mm-hmm.
But East being so loaded as a powerhouse with quarterbacks and talent, I got the opportunity to do that. And
So you still went to school?
Exactly. I was in school. I was not practicing. I was not with the team. I wasn't even on the roster.
Uh-huh.
I was just a regular student.
Okay.
I couldn't even work out with the team.
Okay.
So why did you get suspended then for the first game if you weren't even on the roster?
Exactly. But I just went to the game. I went to the game.
They suspended
and I was on
anybody who
top
was
of the
there.
press box. Yeah, that was it.
So, but if you would have not gone to that game,
I would have been able to play.
you would have been able to play.
Right. And so, like I'm saying, like at East, went there. I wanted to red shirt, sit out a year, you know, get my body right, my mind right, you know, and just get ready to play next season. You know, I was planning on having a big season the following season and going out there, win a championship, earn a scholarship, you know, and just get back to the next level. But, you know, what I didn't expect is for an incident that happened 2 years ago to affect me 2 years later when it came to recruitment. You know, because everybody always told me, yo, just go there, do your time, you're gonna be fine.
Time heals wounds.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, when you say affect, did you expect to get the same level of recruitment that you got coming out of high school? Honestly,
I didn't expect to get it at that extent, you know, but I expected it to be like at least Power 5s. You know, probably not FBS, but at least some Power 5 schools.
Okay. And then what were you told while you were at East Mississippi from the college? Just because you lit it up.
Right.
There's nothing else on the field that you could have done.
Right.
By the way, the throwing across the body, dog. Come on. But anyway, I mean, you lit it up, so there's nothing else. What were the coaches? What were they telling you?
I got a great story. So originally, like, they didn't show it in the show, but you see, if I'm sitting down with Coach Wood, he asked me, what visits do I have set up? I didn't really say the visits because it was still stuff they had to go talk back. Like Dakota said, talk with they had people at their universities. It was some SEC schools.
Yep.
It was some Big 12s, as long as Pac-12 schools that was recruiting me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
it had to be on the
under
down
the radar.
low.
Exactly. Yeah. But I know one story. An SEC coach came in. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was like, you know, we want him. No, he didn't say that. He said, you know what? Coach Trickett was trying to sell him to me. Was to sell me to him. And he said, I'm telling you, this is this guy. You should get him. And he looked Trickett in his eye and he said, this kid is toxic. We don't want him. And that really stuck with me. You know, like, you can come in here and sit in our Lions Den and just call me toxic like that. And you don't even know me, but you can call me toxic.
Actually, something I want to talk about with that, kind of in that same theme, I think they talked about in the beginning of the second episode, really the episode that kind of brought you to light. Being in Mississippi, coming from that spotlight, everybody knows what happened, and you see what these coaches are saying. What was the vibe there in that community?
That's community. Well, when I first got there, the cheerleading coach told the cheerleaders to not speak to me, don't look at me, don't have no dialogue with me.
Dang.
You know, and that was kind of like shocking to me. I'm like, oh wow, I kind of expected it, but I didn't think it was gonna be athletics. You know, I didn't think it'd be the cheerleading coach. You know, and you know, I never really said nothing about it. Like I said, I just kept my head down and just did what I had to do. And I knew, you know, my character was just gonna, you know, take over. You know, I'm not a person to just go out my way and, you know, deliberately be a bad person. You know, that's not me. And I just knew that I had to be myself. It's gonna show.
Well, we haven't really talked that much since all this happened. I think we texted back and forth a couple times. But that's about it. When the incident happened, we were on the radio,
right?
And I remember we came on the radio and we said very bluntly, look, we don't know all the facts and we can't speak objectively about this. But it was I can't imagine being in your shoes 2 years later and hearing things like that, because in my mind it was shocking that the DeAndre that I know, I was seeing that video. And you know, to hear you say things like, you know, hey, the cheerleading coach told him don't come around me. Like, at what point does that just start hammering away at you, bro? And that like, are you at the point where you got such thick skin that it just doesn't bother you? It has to bother you on some level.
I mean, you know, it never really like bothered me, man, but it just nagged. It was just nagging at me a little bit, you know, because I'm around here walking around the community college, and I see you and you look at me, or I'm thinking that with Crozier, I'm thinking that, you know, that you're accepting me, but you're really talking bad about me, you know, and you're really not welcoming me, you know, properly, you know. And what really bothered me was when the coach came and called me toxic. I can handle a lot of things, but for a coach to call me toxic that don't know me, that's what really like just lit a fuel at me, man, and just kept it there.
What was it like for the other players? Because when I'm looking at it, you've got guys with gun charges, drugs, pretty much. I think, was it another guy? Not necessarily domestic violence. I thought it was somebody else who had some. But you have some guys with some serious issues.
Yeah.
Whereas everybody treated it similar, or was it just mainly because yours got the press?
It was mainly me, you know, and it was frustrating, you know, especially by the time when the guys started getting recruiting and started getting mail. I would go check the mail, the recruiting tape every day. Same guys getting mail, getting scholarships, getting this. In high school, I was the guy that was getting all that.
Yeah,
you know, it was an adjustment, man, and it was just, man, it was a sad.
So you didn't need, okay. So the part that would frustrate me as just being real as an athlete is hey, we're gonna talk to you, but it's got to be on the down low.
Yeah,
like that's the part that would really get under my skin, because it's like, all right, dude, you know what? Either jump or don't.
Well, I know the SEC has the new rule. Well, it's not really new anymore, but they had the rule where you can't bring in somebody with or they have to petition or something like that for it.
We took it up with NCAA. I did not fit under that rule.
Because what first aggravated me was when I was thinking about LSU. I think it was LSU, because Georgia, actually, it seemed like every time Georgia would have a quarterback get a domestic violence charge, and
LSU would pick him up.
LSU would pick him up real quick. Actually, one of the guys got drafted, has had a career, and but it wasn't as blown. Again, it's more, I think when they're talking about the toxic part, I guess they're talking about, they're judging. Actually, yeah. What does that feel like? Again, hate to get into the feelings part, and we're up against it anyway, but just real quick, your whole character being judged based upon a 2-minute interaction.
Yeah, that was part of like my message, like over the summer, to like a lot of campers, you know, just to be cautious of where you are and like your surroundings, because 20 seconds can alter your life. You know, someone can go and judge you over a 20-second video, you know, and that kind of affected me a little bit, you know, because for a coach, you know, you kind of respect the coach, you know, and you kind of think that you can relate to him and talk to him.
You respect the title.
Exactly. You know, and for him just to call you toxic like that, man, it was just, man, it was I can't even describe it. You know, it still chokes me up to this day.
I want to, Scott, we're going to go a little bit long here, because I want to come back and get away from this and get more into Last Chance.
Okay.
But this is, I mean, DeAndre knows this is a necessary conversation whenever he comes in anywhere now. Is there any way that the way you guys handled the situation, is there any way you would have done it differently? Obviously, you wish you had that night back, but the aftermath of going on Good Morning America, I think is what it was, or whatever it was. Do you wish you'd have handled it differently? Do you think you handled it the right way in the immediate aftermath?
I do. I really do. We didn't have no regrets. Along the way, I had my pastor with me. Pastor Mark Griffin with Wayne Chapel Ministries. He was with me 100%. You know, he was with me with the court. He would drive up to our meetings, and you know, he really kept me grounded spiritually as well as mentally. And I had a good team. You know, my father, my mother, and my lawyer, Jose Baez, and along with that circle was Benjamin Crump.
Okay.
You know, and so guys who I trust to the end of the world. You know, I felt like we made the right plan the right way. It was a couple talks about let's do it this way. They wanted to go another route to have the trial going, but I didn't want that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to just terminate it and just get on with getting recruited, and yeah, that's probably it, man. But I had a plan, just get through the trial, get through the court, and get to East Mississippi and just get recruited all over again.
So in East Mississippi, were there? So again, coaches come in and talk. They said there were some things that you've done to try to show that you actually have pennant. So what are some of the things that you did outside of just apologizing, doing Good Morning America? What are some of the things that you've done and that you're currently doing to try to prove to people? Because you're gonna have to always prove no matter what. Because when they Google you, that's what's gonna come up. But what are some of the things so that we can let people know that this is what the true you is?
Right. Well, I was talking with I worked with the women's battered shelter in Tallahassee. Also worked with the women's shelter in Mississippi as well. I've been talking to camps. I've been let me start. I finished an anger management course while being in Mississippi. I took that. I've been to the high schools in Mississippi and talked to like the players and talked to the guys on my own team about situations. I traveled across the country with Adidas and alongside Nike and speaking at their camps, for young athletes coming up. Right now at FAU, I'm kind of currently working with I started a foundation, and it's going to be with the sheriff's department down there, and we going to just take kids from the community, from different parts of the areas.
What was it like working in a battered women's shelter? And what was the interaction like?
It was emotional, because these were women who were hiding, from people who might have still been looking for them, and just to sit down at the table with them and hear their experiences and and to be a part of their rehabilitation, when they was going through whatever they was going through was really like a culture shock for me. I actually learned a lot. It taught me a whole different side of things, and just to be accepted by them. They welcomed me with open arms, man. And I sat on the table. They gave me a book that they was reading, and I was part of the circle, man. So it was good.
Wow. Let's go to break.
And let's talk about Last Chance U.
Yeah, let's come back and get off of that, man. Let's talk about Last Chance U and get into some of the things that I saw on it, and then a lot of questions for DeAndre, and then just hear kind of the good, the bad, the ugly of East Mississippi, and then where he's headed now. Let's do that on the other side. We'll be right back.
That's good stuff.
So how's your mom? I know she talked about it a little bit, but she said I can only imagine. My mom wants to wring my neck anytime I do stuff too, but how was that? I was talking.
It was crazy, man. You know what? Really when I noticed was that when I got arrested, when I turned myself it was my mother's birthday. I was supposed to be in Jacksonville that day. Yeah.
Actually, someone was telling, oh man, I forgot who was telling me that she was supposed to come, like if they wanted you to come to Jacksonville early.
Yeah, I think so.
Cleo, Cleo was telling us, like he wanted you were supposed to come early and just, things just happened.
Yeah, it was crazy. But that incident happened on a Wednesday night, like trash Wednesday.
Giannis?
Yeah. It's true. I wasn't going out that night, man. They came and forced me out.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Things happen for a reason,
Yeah. How you throwing it?
Great. You gotta see it.
Yeah.
Spinning it.
Really?
Absolutely. I done cleaned up my base too. Brought my base like a little more narrow.
Yeah.
And if it's not there, I'm able to strike.
How narrow? Yeah. Like how narrow?
Like narrow. It's about damn near shoulder width.
Oh, so you're like that?
Yeah. You know, I was like wide width.
Yeah.
Wide base. Yeah, I want one like this.
You're doing like the front shoulder close?
Yeah. Because like in our system, it's an RPO system. So
That should be fun.
it was hard in the spring for me because I never was that type of quarterback. Just Driscoll. So
And Trickett's there now?
Yeah, Trigger's there. CJ's there.
Clint? Or the other one?
Clint.
Oh, Clint's there?
Yeah, Travis left.
Clint had the best. He went to Norfolk Christian in Tallahassee.
I played against him.
And
I coached against him.
I went and worked. A buddy of mine was the head coach there. So I went up there for like 2 days and worked with quarterbacks. He had the best drop I've ever seen. The best 7-step, 5-step drop I've ever seen.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Chris said one of your best shows ever. Great stuff.
Cigars are.
So,
You want to read any of these?
Derrick Rose just signed a 1-year deal with the Cavs.
all right.
Did he?
All right.
During that
I
last
saw
series.
Water, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Saw that.
Hey, I was telling him,
Stuff like crap.
in high school,
Yeah.
had the best 5-7-7 drop.
Yeah, Tricker was very polished, man.
That joker.
He still is to this day.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a good coach.
He is. He is.
It seemed like it. Like I was for him to be so young, just the interviews that they were doing when he was talking about people, I was like, man, that's real. Like he sounds like he's gonna be coaching for the next 4
Yeah,
years.
I really think he's gonna be like Cliff, you know, a young head coach. Yeah, I honestly believe that. I forgot to mention that, you know, the president of the school would come around to the teachers and get like a report on me, like monthly, at East Mississippi.
See, I can see that.
Yeah.
Because that's his.
Right.
Like, it wasn't just on you, though.
No, it wasn't. No, it was just on me.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. Yeah. But that was my guy, though. Like, he was a good guy. He really was.
It seemed like the vice president he was just old, but he had some. It seemed like all of them were. Didn't seem like bad people. But that dang vice president,
No, I'm going to get into it.
actually, I ain't watched all of this. I only saw the one.
You cool if I speak my mind about that coach?
I do not care.
I don't want to get you in.
No.
Well, he ain't gonna make him run gases now.
No.
What he gonna do now? The only
Okay,
person,
what do you mean?
the only person that we really actually in theory, speak your mind. Be
I'll stay out of
what
it.
you say what you need to say. Because you got to think in 3 years, 2 to 3 years, you want to try to make a push. You're gonna have to answer all these questions all over again, and then they're gonna interview everybody to try to figure out the situation. You say anything wrong,
That's a good point.
it can always go against you. We don't want that.
He kind of screwed himself anyway.
The Sports Den on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Man, Duval Ford text line going crazy.
I like this though, man. Nothing but love.
All up. SportsDen_live on all the social media, all going crazy.
Got the Facebook Live so you can see us. You can hear everything, but you can also hear the stuff in between. Some good convo. Nothing salacious this time. We're trying to keep it. We're keeping it. We know we have a young man here, so we don't want to get him in trouble. We're gonna corrupt the intern. We don't really care about him.
He's a lost cause.
Yeah, he's a lost cause.
Like, he agreed to do this. He signed a waiver.
Yeah, exactly.
So got DeAndre Johnson in with FAU now, formerly with East Mississippi Community College. Last Chance U part 2. Is there going to be a part 3? Have they said?
I think they take it into Garden City this year.
Oh, really?
I think so.
So
You know what I was
probably
mad
gonna do it like
about?
Hard Knocks.
Is the last game y'all played against Micah Zanders,
We did.
and he didn't get any no time.
I mean, yeah, he played what they.
No, I'm talking about on the show.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's where Micah got. Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, Micah was at
haven't gotten to
hand.
that point.
Hines.
Especially after the game, we had a real deep conversation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then we played Northeast. We played Blake McLean.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
That was down
yeah.
there too. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't realize he was there.
he was.
Where'd he go? Where'd he end up?
I think he's at UAB. I'm not too sure.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot that he wasn't at South Carolina anymore.
Nah, I heard about that.
I just forgot.
Yeah,
I'd heard about it too. I just forgot. All right, let's get back to the show. So Last Chance U, if you haven't watched it, go to Netflix, check it out. You will binge watch it. I promise you. It's addicting. So in the show, the premise of the show, if you haven't seen it, is that it is a community college. If you don't know a lot about community college football, there's really no in between, right? DeAndre, tell me if I'm wrong on this. There's really, really bad teams, and then there's teams that are crazy, ridiculously talented.
Right.
And there's not, I mean, I guess there's average because there has to be, but you're one of the two. Like you either commit to, as a school, you commit to football and community college, or you just haven't.
Exactly.
And the premise behind the show is East Mississippi is one of the schools that has went all out, or all in, actually, I should say. And what they do at East Mississippi is they go and get guys who have had issues at major colleges, bring them into East Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about just the collection of guys that was there. Was everybody of the same mindset? I mean, you can see through the show, and I don't want to give too much of it away, but there are guys who are there who haven't learned a lesson and still going down the same road. There are guys, were there bonds made? Were you able to look at that like a real team? Was it what it was, a pit stop and everybody knew it?
I mean, it was a judgment from like Division I football. I would say that's probably like the most, that's probably the best team I probably played on. You know,
really?
Yeah, about just like commodity-wise, because you got to think about it. We ain't in Scuba, Mississippi. Population 711. There was no stores. It was just one gas station, one Subway. And they're still 30 minutes away.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, it was a lot of times, man, if I didn't have nothing, or if any guys didn't have nothing, they'll come knock on your door. Hey, can I borrow some bread? Can I borrow some milk? You have any food? You got any soup? You know, and like, you know, a post like that, Division I, it's like, come on, man, get out of here, man. Go by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, but it was just a brotherhood at that school, man, because we was with each other every day. You know, and for us guys who was out of state, we couldn't go home. And so when it comes down to the holidays, when it comes down to the weekends, you know, when other guys went home, you have to go home. You can go home with them. They're like, hey, come on home, man. I would say Mississippi was a great experience. Yeah. You know, I never met a group of people who was just so polite. You know, I guess it's the Southern hospitality. But, man, it was great, man. And, you know, it wasn't one of them places where it was a pit stop. It's a place where you're going to meet guys for your life. Mm-hmm. You know, I still talk to them guys to this day.
One of them's with you, right?
Yeah, you know, Tim Bonner's with me. I spoke to Cam Carter last night.
Okay.
Spoke to Chauncey, spoke to Dakota yesterday. You know, spoke to Isaiah this morning.
Okay.
You know, just be on the lookout. We got some things coming up for FAU.
So, who was the most talented guy on the team?
Isaiah.
Isaiah
was the most explosive guy I ever played with.
That's the running back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Where's he at?
Well, you giving away now. People got to watch.
My bad. I didn't
just tune in.
I got to watch it.
Yeah, you got to watch. You got to watch. I mean, it looked like it, but you know how that is. I mean, you don't know what you don't see.
Right.
And that's my next question is how much did the show do a good job of capturing everybody's personality? Like, or did they figure out early on, hey, some guys, we can make them look really good or we can make them look really bad?
They caught him.
Yeah.
They caught him. You know, and I think for the some guys look good, look bad, that was kind of more like towards Buddy and, you know, how they, you know,
right,
their Buddy, but
Buddy being the head coach, Buddy Stevens being the head coach there.
And he was also really, I mean, you got a chance to star in it, but really it was really more so about him and his volatile behavior and how he treated life. From what I gathered, I didn't watch the first season, so all they talked about in the first 3 episodes was, yo, I got to make this change because I really didn't like seeing how I looked, and they put a lot into him.
I watched the first season and then, like I said, watched all of the second season, and I don't know how the dude does a job. I don't like it. To me, being a coach, it angers me. Not the cussing, like I get all that whatever, but just the way you talk to other human beings, it angers me. Like, it's not what coaching is.
I'm surprised he's got a job, actually, based upon how they handled Isaiah. And I want to say it was actually your first game when he got a concussion.
Right.
I'm sitting here looking at this. I'm like, whoa, no protocols were followed.
Yeah, you got to watch the whole season, though.
I mean,
you just got to trust me.
Wow, I'm just sitting here watching. I'm like, yo, this is like in high school. You ain't getting it. Ain't no chance. You say your bell rung, give me a helmet. And I understand him wanting to fight to get on. So even in college now, like it ain't like when I played. Like when I could say, you know, people always ask me about concussions. I never had a concussion I can remember. I was like, or I've got my bell rung. I lost 4 or 5 plays.
They asked you, am I holding up fingers?
Yeah, they said, hey, where are you born? Where are you at? Are you in Tallahassee? Like they'll give you the answer in the question.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you pack. Cause what you want to do is get on that field. But now with all the stuff, I seen that and again, just the way he talked to some of the coaches.
Yeah.
I just couldn't happen to me.
How was your relationship with him?
I didn't really have one.
Okay.
You know, it was just like he was the coach. I was the quarterback. You know, never had a problem with me. I never had a problem with him. We were just cordial.
Did he recruit you? How did that go down? Did they reach out to you?
They did. They did. It was more like they sent Clint.
Okay.
It's tricky. Was reached out, you know, because I was at Florida State with his father, and it was crazy because 2 weeks prior to that, Clint came inside the Fig, came inside the cafe, and you know, I seen him say, "Hey, Clint, you was a quarterback kid. Can you sit down with me before you leave, man, and go to the playbook with me?" You know, and that was our first conversation, man. That's how we just, you know, got together. But but after that, you know, he said Clint after me, and they sent Coach Wood, they sent Coach Steve, and you know, it was all she wrote from there.
Yeah, you know who used to coach there is Jimmy Brumball.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that before they won the national championships? Or
I think it was one of them.
One of them?
Yeah.
So he coached with that guy?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he went from there to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So you get to Scuba, and you said earlier you didn't know if you wanted to go. The show didn't have anything to do with it. You took the visit, and that shocked me that you take a visit to Scuba, Mississippi, and decide, yeah, this is where I want to be. That was kind of surprising.
Because when I looked at it, I'm like, this is nowhere.
No, hell no.
I don't want to be
no,
here.
I ain't.
Right. Well, you know, what really sells you when you go inside their facilities, you know, it's like, oh my God, this is JUCO? Like a Division
Is
I.
it that crazy?
It is. You know, and you go inside the equipment room and you see all them helmets, you see all the jerseys.
Oh no, the
cleats.
gear, man.
Yeah, you like, oh my God, okay. You know, and then you see the hype videos and stuff like that. And you look at the score, you're like, wow, you know, it's middle of nowhere. But if you really think about it, you got Mississippi State 40 minutes away, Alabama 40 minutes away. You know, Ole Miss an hour and a half away. LSU was 3 hours away. You know, so it was right in the middle of SEC country. And so I was like, you know what, it might be a good experience because I never experienced the SEC before.
Yeah.
You know?
How many coaches came through there?
A lot.
Was it a lot?
Yeah, it was like I would say every SEC school, ACC came through.
Because when you were at First Coast, y'all were loaded.
Right.
And so y'all had, you know, I'm going to guess in a spring 60, 70 coaches come through.
Right.
I mean, kind of the same feel, or is it a much different?
Much different because you got to remember that. And during college, you play on Thursdays. You know, and it's during the season. Then like coaches, they're out with the team, and they can't come until a Saturday game. You know, or they might come for a practice later in the year, like during bowl season. So that's when they really came, like during bowl season. And it was kind of frustrating a little bit, you know, because you wonder, like, you tell me if I come here, I'm gonna get recruited. I haven't seen any scouts yet, but they all come at once.
Yeah,
and it's like it's kind of overwhelming. You're like, oh my God.
You didn't play for 2 years, right?
Exactly, right.
So how much rust was there? Was there more than you thought, or was it?
I mean, it really wasn't no rust, you know, because the whole year when I sat out, my redshirt year, I worked out by myself, me and Coach Trickett. I stayed in shape. I stayed sharp. It was just getting back in game mode, you know, just getting to see like the speed of things. And for y'all who haven't seen the first episode, you're gonna see.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like what I went through to shake back out there. So,
do you feel like as a football player, it made you better?
It definitely did. Definitely did. It just kept me fighting. You know, it did. You know, because it helped me to be a better leader. You know, and just be that guy out there, man, and just be that thermostat.
How hard was that? No, seriously, now how hard was that? Because that's one of the things as I was watching the show, I was thinking, you know, you've always had crazy leadership qualities.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a whole different thing now. Is now you're out there with a bunch of guys who most of the time don't want to be there.
Exactly.
And they're all there for one reason, and that's to get an envelope, right? They ain't there to win, although I guess as an athlete it kicks in at some point. How hard was it, and just to be able to look at them and go, hey, at the end of the day, we got to win to accomplish this. Was that a different style of leadership you had to learn? Or?
It was because it was, like I said, kind of a culture shock, you know, because being in Mississippi, guys where they see things differently. There's a lot of guys on that team. You know, I'm from Florida, so down here, our goal is to make it Division I. We want to go SEC, ACC. You know, we want to go Power 5.
Mm-hmm.
Them guys' mindset was, hey, man, we just want to go to East Mississippi.
Yeah, some of them JUCO was made it.
Oh, wow.
JUCO was Division I for a lot of them guys in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys where they knew that JUCO was just a stepping stone for them to possibly earn a scholarship, but if not, knock out 2 years of school and save money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's a lot of guys' mindset was there. You know, it was different, you know, because a lot of guys, you know, as you see, like, in the story backlines where, like, you can see a lot of guys really didn't have the proper foundation growing up.
Yeah, some of the stories were crazy.
Yeah.
It was, you know, and like when you're around them guys and you're looking at them, you're talking to them, you're like, dude, what's wrong with you? But really, you just don't know what he's been through.
Right.
You know,
Was there a story that you watched? I'm assuming you got like an advanced screening of it.
mm-hmm.
So was there something that you watched that you went, oh, I didn't know that?
Absolutely. First season, Ronald Ali's story.
Mm-hmm.
I was with Ronald all the time. Ronald would come to my room every night, you know, and I would feed him every night, you know. And Isaiah Wright's story, you know, I didn't know that he was in forces.
Yeah, don't give it away. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, his story's kind of
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that, you know, and that was it. That was it.
And so looking back now, that would be pretty cool, I think, to be able to have a whole season documented the way they documented, and you know they took hundreds of hours of film to get down to that. To be able to go back and learn, okay, well now that makes sense.
Well, it looks like it's a more in-depth version of what ESPN used to do. Remember they used to do the season? ESPN used to take the only reason I remember is we were part of it twice when I was there, my freshman year and then my senior year. They documented the entire season. And then at the end of this, like if you make it to the national championship, it's 2 years, 2-hour special. If you don't, 1 hour special during the bowl game. And they're like every aspect. You learn about stuff about your teammates like Greg Jones. Like I knew Greg looked like a Greek god, but Greg ate Whoppers and didn't like working out. So you learn stuff about that and you learn things, but they didn't go as in depth as this, obviously, because you're also on Netflix. You can do whatever you want to do on Netflix. Yeah. Some of these stories you probably don't want to tell on ESPN.
On cable.
Now, one of the things that we used to say, and I'm only coming from our experience, is JUCO players were weird.
Yeah.
And I can kind of see why JUCO players are weird. With where you're at now, has any of that still kind of rubbed off on you? You know, is that coming in? Are you hiding your food like some of the stuff that I saw?
Absolutely.
Like you don't trust like that. I don't.
You know,
covering your plate.
Me and Tim Bonner, we call it being institutionalized. You know, by the time we got to FAU, we like, gosh, this is a cafe right here, and we would try to like take 2 or 3 places to go home. You know, not because you forget that you're in the city now and you have a car. You know, or you know, I find myself all the time being out of FAU, and I would go outside. I would just soak in the fresh air, and I would just look around at the palm trees like, wow, this is amazing. You know,
so it's like you just got out.
Civilization.
Like
it's like I'm back in civilization. Like it was crazy, you know. And it's right across from our facility is like a private airport, you know. So we have a private airport on campus, and I would go over there. I would sit in the car, and I would just look at the planes taking off. Like, wow, look at where I've came from.
It's like it set you back 15 years.
Yeah,
it's like 6 again. Hey, let's take a break. Well, let's push 8 o'clock back a little bit.
Because we got some other stuff that we'll get into if we get into it. Let's get another segment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's get another segment on the other side. We'll be right back.
Some good stuff, man.
So no 8 o'clock?
Yeah, let's push it back. Yeah.
I don't even have anything I'm angry about right now.
Yeah, we do this segment called 8 o'clock. And it's basically whatever we're hating on at the time. So, anybody want sweet tea? Assuming that's what this is. Guys, Ryan. How's your dad doing, man?
He's good, man. He's listening right now.
How's your brother doing?
He's good. He's getting ready to probably make his commitment soon.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I can't believe that joke is a senior.
Yeah, right.
I met your brother like 3 years ago.
No, dang, it's longer than that. He was in 8th grade. He was in 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going over there messing with Gil over at Trinity. He was in his class, and I'm talking to him about training. And he was like, yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a little different. walk around, you see athletes that look like this, and you point to your brother. I'm like, oh, cool. So you like a junior? You a junior? And he's like, nah. He's like, you don't know who that is? I said, nah, I ain't got no clue who that is. I said, that's a big joker though. And he was like, that's DeAndre little brother. I'm like, little brother? That's a top 10 pick in 2 years.
Absolutely.
But nah, that's cool.
Yeah, Tyree looked like a great guard right now.
Yeah, I saw him.
I saw this video where he just tossed him in the neck.
That was cool. That was just cool.
Yeah,
I wasn't
I
there.
like that. Sometimes you gotta let him know.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said he's talking crap, man. About my office, man. I like that. So who ready?
You still holler at Cleo?
Yeah. I spoke to him a few weeks ago. You know, about that. It was like I was having a hard time in the spring. You know, our offense, man, is based on like one reads. You know?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what is this, man?
Like tag read?
Exactly. So I'm like, I don't really understand the whole picture of this. You know? And so I would call Cleo, man, can you break it down to me? You know it right there. Boom. Oh, that now makes sense.
Cleo?
He's at Jacksonville State now.
Jacksonville State and
But he was at JUCO last year, right?
He was at a JUCO last year. He got a receiver coach position.
we didn't play.
Dang, so we're not gonna be hanging out with
Yeah, see, I hate RP. Like, I don't like, it's hard in my position when somebody's paying me to develop a quarterback in an RP system. It's just hard.
What's Lane Kiffin like?
Introvert.
What? Really?
I mean,
I just see the pictures in the club, and I'm just like, yo, man, you a grown ass man. Like, you hanging out with recruits.
nah, Coach Kiff, man, he's a cool guy. He's a guy. He doesn't really say much, but you know, if you really want to have a great conversation with him, talk X's and O's, talk ball with him. He'll talk with you all night. Okay. Great guy, though.
You liking it, Evan?
Yeah, I'm loving the staff. They're very young, very energetic. You know, not stuck in their own ways. Coach Browse is a great coach.
No, he brought. He changed the whole thing, didn't he?
Well, what's that? All American? What's the conference?
USA.
Yeah, close enough. What'd you go Thursday? You said Thursday?
Nah, I'll be tomorrow. Yeah, it's like important Wednesday, so.
Oh man, it is that. God, boy.
Think about it, we got 30 days, man.
See, really?
30 days.
It's so funny. I'm just still having flashbacks sometimes.
That's stupid.
It's long. And you know, thing about it is that.
Hey, Danny.
Yeah.
What's Dom texting these? What are those pictures?
He's saying that Clint Trigger's face.
His head's too small for his body.
His head don't match. I can't really talk about it. Man, got a problem, got an issue. Nah, I remember when FSU played the Gator Ball here, and the team chaplain Clint called me. I swear my mom panicked. I thought I was late for the FCA break. I spazzed out. In February, I still missed mat drills. But y'all didn't have to do mat drills.
1010XL, 92.5 FM. Join us in the Sports Den. Call or text 641-1010.
641-1010 is what you call or text. Duval Ford text line. We'll take calls later. Hit us up on the text line right now.
Nah, y'all didn't do mat drills, man. Y'all did something. Y'all worked out. Y'all did it in that fourth quarter. I used to tell DeMarcus that. I said, nah, dog. Nah, what y'all did, I would love to do. Oh yeah, mat drills was.
Man, stop it. I mean, you got that old man complex going.
If you go to hell, that's all they had to do to teach me, convert me, be like, hey, in hell, you got to do mat drills 24 hours a day. I'd be like, you know what? I'm living right. I ain't gonna never get in trouble. That stuff, boy. Whew. But nah, it's still tough. I mean, heck, y'all won. I mean, they won. They winning, so they changed something.
Hey, one of the things that I wanted to holler at you about, because you are a Duval guy, like a 904 guy. The talent coming out of this area is insane right now.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, I'm just thinking about FAU.
Mm-hmm.
Like, isn't Willie down there, right?
Yeah, Willie Wright.
Helms down there.
Ronald Patterson.
Oh, I didn't know he was down there.
Yeah, and then another guy from UC.
Stoshak.
That's
Yep.
right, Stoshak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the college rosters, not just in Florida, but all over right now, man. There's just like you can't turn on a game on Saturdays without some dude from Jacksonville
Absolutely.
like balling out.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think Jacksonville was represented in every watch list except for one, as far as like quarterback, linebacker, Andre Smith. That dude.
Nice.
Y'all played against him, didn't you? At First Coast?
We did. I was with Andre last week, matter of fact.
I ain't never seen anybody blitz like him.
Hey, he's come through there.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But how much of that? How much of Florida did you see missing? We talked about some of those guys making it to JUCO.
Right.
But just how much of a Florida attitude do you notice that there really is once you get out of the state?
A big one.
Isn't it?
Because I know when I was out there, I'm like, man, where your dog at?
Yeah.
Are you the alpha dog or what?
Yeah.
My mindset was that, man, I'm from Florida, man. There's no guy from Mississippi that's going to beat me in anything.
Yeah.
And that's the way that I took it. I took it personal. I had to be the quickest, had to be the fastest. I had to be like the most dominant player out there. And it's kind of a mindset.
It's funny, man, traveling around doing some of these camps, like with the Elite 11 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you go up to Atlanta or Charlotte or some of these other places, and it's like a whole different feel than the Orlando or Miami one.
Exactly. And you don't really realize it until you leave Florida.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Down here, you take it for granted. Oh, man, it's just the way it is all around the world.
We talk about it all the time and we talk about it from the angle of recruiting. Of you've got to be a certain kind of way to come into Florida and recruit Florida kids.
Right.
And you now at FAU with Lane Kiffin, it seems like Lane Kiffin's kind of got that. It's not. I don't even know that it has to be a personality. It almost has to be just a reputation of when you walk onto a Florida campus, the kid's going to listen to what you say.
Yeah.
And it seems like FAU is in a prime spot right now over these next couple of years while you're there to really build into something, pretty dang special.
Absolutely. We're definitely building future powerhouse. This season, we're working on something that's going to be internationally known this season. Just wait for it to get finalized. That's going to be major way in recruiting. And then Coach Kiffin does a great job of doing we go to different cities and practice, just to bring the community out, and to gather support. And, so guys, kids who can't really come to the campus, they can come watch us play, though. Like watch us practice in their community,
That's
so.
cool. Actually, it's just something I've always think about. Everybody wants to go to Florida State.
Right.
And that's cool.
Man,
Nothing wrong
not
with that.
everybody want to go to Florida State. Stop.
Recruiting
Don't
rankings
everybody
say
want to go to Florida
the recruiting
State? Just
rankings
shut
say
up
that
with
everybody
that.
wants to go to Florida
Just
State.
say everybody wants to go to one of the
Everybody
big
wants to go
three.
to Alabama. Everybody wants to. No, nobody. Florida. We'll talk about y'all little recruiting class and y'all success later. Miami, but the point is that it's very difficult to go somewhere and be the all-time greatest quarterback at Florida State. You got Charlie. You got I'm Chris. You got.
It don't matter how good you are. There's going to be a faction.
Actually, when I learned that every position at Florida State, there is an all-pro at every position. Yep. Same thing at Florida. Same thing at Miami. The unique thing, though, is you have an opportunity. And I try to tell a lot of kids is kind of go where you want it. Go somewhere where you can create your path.
Right.
I got a good friend of mine that I grew up with, B.J. Daniels. Okay. Is at South Florida. Well, in South Florida, he's a legend. You can go to South Florida, do whatever you want to do.
Right.
He didn't even really win. He beat Florida State. He won the one game that mattered, and then I think he was a quarterback when they actually had that really big ascent. The point is, you have an opportunity to be the guy and build your own path. What is that like? Is that something that even – I mean, I know it's not something that played into your mind to make that decision, but is that something that you think about now?
No, not really. I've always been a guy, of course I big picture things, but right now my focus is on just, going into camp with like a nice clear level head and competing with the defense, compete with the guys, who I'm going to battle with, and once the season come around, and just contributing as much as I can, in a way that the coach want me to do. If things work out where I'm able to put up big numbers and help FAU to get a championship and stuff like that, then, I'll worry about it then, but until then, I'm just focused on,
FAU right now.
They play Florida?
No, they play Wisconsin.
I think he beats them. Going double. Ain't no double overtime.
Hey, listen.
Ain't no double overtime.
Hey, I ain't saying this because he's here. I've said it live on this show before. The best quarterback in the state of Florida right now is at FAU. I don't have any problem saying that. I said it the day after you committed and signed there.
I agree.
So I mean it's something that they start the year off with Navy, and then they go to Wisconsin, and
you should be faster than Wisconsin. So
that's what I'm saying.
That's the plan.
Now, all of a sudden you fire a shot. You go up to Camp Randall, and in a noon kickoff you fire a shot and keep it close or squeak out a victory, and FAU's on the map. And now that legendary status you're talking about.
I got to go check out that spread for the Wisconsin game. I might put a couple. Actually, never mind. That's illegal. Never mind.
And then they go. Yeah, I mean, you look at their
views expressed are not necessarily those of 1010.
You look at their schedule. I mean, Navy, Wisconsin, Bethune, at Buffalo. Ugh.
Yeah. Bethune gonna be
at least at Buffalo's early.
Bethune gonna be coming in hot from beating Miami though.
They beat Miami.
I'm just joking.
He ain't that.
I just give
that's
Miami
a weekly
fans
thing.
a hard time.
And how about this? Next year, 2018, they start the year off at Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you even know that? Yeah.
And the year after that, I think it's Ohio State.
Is it?
Nice.
I
You
think
guys
so.
ain't backing down.
Yeah, it is at Ohio State.
Man.
So I mean, there you go. Do you look back now and go? I'm going to tell you, like if I try to go glass half full with you, I look at it and go, golly, you got a lot of experience at your age that most people don't get till they're like 40. You know what I mean? Like we've all made mistakes, and most of us make the same mistakes over and over and over before we, learn a lesson. Not only did you make a mistake, but like you immediately had to own it, or it could have gone really
Right
bad.
away. Right away.
Right. And so now you've learned this whole lesson at how old are you?
When that happened?
Right now.
Oh, right now I'm 21.
Okay, so you're 21 years old and going through more crap than most 40, 45-year-olds. Like, looking back on it, you can't change anything, but, man, you got to look at that and go, man, I can handle just about anything.
That's my mindset was when I came out of JUCO.
Yeah.
Remember I used to watch Cam Newton's speech when he went to Auburn. He was like, man, when I left junior college, I left junior college, and I won a Heisman. It was like, man, I could conquer anything.
Yeah.
And that's the way that I felt too when I left.
Well, and I think the other thing that he's learned that I'm not real sure you've learned yet, James, is like, I mean, that one moment can change everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I'm different though. I wasn't a quarterback, so fullbacks can fight. So that's expected. That fullback. Well, not that. Fullback gets in a bar fight. You're like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. I might get draft stock gets higher.
Yeah.
But quarterback, anytime quarterback's in trouble. What about the people outside of the circle? One thing that we noticed walking through what I noticed from afar, and even when I went back on campus with the Jameis Winston situation, the things that went with him, I saw you went from seeing a guy happy-go-lucky, loving life, sign anybody's autograph, to this situation becomes internal, shuts out everybody. How do you interact day in and day out now that since the situation has happened?
I mean, I'm still an outgoing guy. It's just now, I'm more cautious about who I talk to, who I allow close to me, and just positions to where I put myself. I try to be inside controlled environments. I don't ever try to go out of my way to be somewhere. I just kind of go with the flow and just be around things where I can control. And that's basically the way I handle things.
Well, man, I couldn't be, and I mean this. Like, I mean, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
I really am, man. I think, even though you put yourself in the circumstance, given the circumstance, it's you've done all you can do, right? And that's, what more can people ask?
Right, man. I just want to tell you guys thank you, for sticking with me for along the way. I know when the incident first happened a couple of years ago, there was a lot of talk around the city about me, a lot of negative talk, and to come home now, man, and for you guys to welcome me, man, and still be with me, it means a lot to me.
Bro, we all make mistakes.
It really does.
We all make mistakes. Hey, you're welcome to hang out. We're gonna keep going. If you want to hang out, you're welcome to. But I need to catch up on these breaks, don't I, Scott? Huh?
He gave you a thumbs up.
Okay.
Yes, you
do. Okay. Let's do that, and then if you want to hang out, you're more than welcome. If you need to go, you can do that as well. But I appreciate giving us a little bit of inside on Last Chance You Go. Check it out on Netflix. DeAndre plays a huge role in the show. You'll definitely get addicted to it. And before we go to break, everybody's asking me to ask you about Brittany. So I got to do that.
Okay.
Is she the real deal?
Yeah,
as real as she seems.
Yeah, she's the real deal.
What is she? The academic counselor?
Yeah, she was very down to earth. Talked about anything. Great woman. Great mother. You know, she was a great friend as well.
Yep. There you go. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys ever been to Drake and stuff? Blue 32?
Man, check it out.
We're sponsored by the other guy.
Oh.
Yes. Drayden just texted me though. I told him I gotta talk to him. Now I was getting mad at him. I don't care if he hears it. I was like, dude, I'm not. Drayden hit me up through every social media video, but he got my cell phone. It's just the terrible whatchamacallit adapter.
I guess since he said Dave is waiting for 8 o'clock because he called up right after 8 going, what's going on?
That's what happens with old people.
Uh-huh.
That's what old people don't like change. Pushed it back through his whole life.
Threw him a curve.
Hey, so is Quincy coming on?
Yeah, he's going to stick around. I need to give you his number. We need to call Quincy at 9:15.
So I'm hating on you. Have got Felipe Franks too, and now all of a sudden you're gonna win a national championship next year as a true freshman.
Huh?
Is it texted to me?
You getting all the recruits that nobody else wants.
I didn't go down to Miami. I heard you spoke to Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started working with those guys this past year.
Yeah.
And so, like that QB Epic thing they do?
About the last.
It's a February. No, it's a February one. It's high school. And it's, there's 180 high school kids, but they bring in 20 coaches. And this deal for it's outside. It's actually an Adidas event. Bro, they gave me so much Adidas gear. I was telling him, the whole back of my truck. Yeah. Me, Angie, everybody. They just stacked it up. Oh, it was crazy. But I like Q. He's a good dude.
Yeah, real good dude, man.
That's he working with Vic down there?
Yeah.
How'd you line that up?
I mean, with the QB coach I train with, Oliver Bozeman, he trained Vic and Vic was playing. And so I'm working with OB and, he had Vic come out. Vic came out, watched me work, and, we work on a lot of, quick stuff, quick switch, quick release, burst out the pocket, stuff like that. So it's cool. It's been dope, man. I've been working out with the Dolphins receivers, man. I've been working out. I'm still working with Mastroni too a little bit. And
don't mention my name there. I talked to him last week, actually.
Yeah.
He came up with your
camp,
yeah. I didn't know who it was. So, I didn't know Nate. I didn't know Nate was going to be there. I didn't know anything. So, I basically got just about every quarterback now.
Right. Oh, you talking about Perry?
No, Perry's different.
Oh.
Ken knows his shit. Ken, so anyway, so all they're asking about this camp, all I hear is a 6-hour camp for $400. I'm like, no, I don't. Just leave it up. Just get kids here. Which 5 had to be comped because they were partial. So I felt kind of bad because Nate's my guy. I was like, y'all gotta reach out to me. And so the next week, I saw Ken for a little bit. Ken's like, yeah, I didn't know it was so territorial up there. I'm like, Jacksonville's different than Naples, bro.
Exactly. Down there, Boca, Fort Lauderdale.
You can charge whatever you want to charge.
Exactly.
I mean, down here, I'm training kids. We do 12 group sessions a month. They pay $150 for all 12. Like, he's charging that an hour. Yeah. So we had an interesting conversation, but it ended up being good. I'm gonna come down there and talk to him. once we get to this next couple of weeks. Nate's still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What team is he with?
Bills. Was it 4th round?
You know the Bills, they keep a stack. Keep it real though.
I was thinking that who they got? They got Tyrod Taylor. They got Nate. They got
Cardell.
Yeah, Cardell Jones. And TJ Yates.
EJ got
No, EJ's gone.
Yeah. Ooh.
EJ on, man.
Oh, what?
He may be, but they've got TJ Yates. Yeah, they got.
You choose them?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, they drafted Nate Ford, so he's gonna be good this year. Yeah, at least practice squad. Yeah. But he's still in the position. You want to do 8 o'clock or what? Anything you hating on, DeAndre?
No.
I ain't social. I ain't on social media.
You're hating on social media?
Yeah, social media gives lames a platform.
All right, we're back after that.
All right, hey, bring us back with 8 o'clock. We'll get this done.
Are we gonna do a full?
You mad, bro? 1010XL, 92.5 FM. Join us in the sports den. Call or text 641-1010.
Open up your heart and let that hate out.
It's just 8 o'clock delayed a little bit. Is all it is. We had too much good stuff going on
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Sometimes you just gotta.
to interrupt it with 8 o'clock.
Sometimes you get up to the line
Yeah,
and you see that they're stacking the box,
right.
so you got to call audible. Get out of there. Get out of the dive and chuck
Okay.
the ball deep. And that's what we did. Went a
chucked
little
it deep?
long, chucked it deep, man. Got a touchdown.
So 8 o'clock at 8:19.
Yeah, it's still an 8. It's still 8-ish.
Yeah, and we'll get to the Duval Ford text line in just a little bit. You guys have been awesome. We'll get to the social media feed in just a little bit as well. And DeAndre, you can weigh in on this if you want to, man. What are you hating on, James?
I'm hating on social media right now, man.
How can you hate on? How can somebody that posts 30 things a day?
Probably a little bit more than 30, but yeah.
How can you hate on social media?
Well, one, I was cool. I was popping before social media.
Oh, is that right?
I've been cool my whole life, man. I've been always partially because to some capacity I can run fast and hit people hard, and I was just a better athlete than most people.
Right.
And then I got a chance to go to college and do some other stuff. But when social media first came on the scene, like, Facebook, MySpace, it was just cool. It was controlled. I'm not going to say I may not have used it as a platform to, for people to see my pictures and a couple girls flirt with you and whatever and things like that. But now just the medium in itself is just really aggravating. Like, you see the lamest dudes, like, are so thirsty. Like, like, for example, we were talking about one of our first shows, how you shouldn't like your boy's wife's picture or something like that, his old lady's picture.
Okay.
Like, you got guys
if it's by herself.
If it's by herself, you got guys just sitting in the wings, liking every picture, like liking 1,000 pictures, and just really or what they call sliding in the DMs, and just going in here and they trying to. It just hasn't happened to me, but just in general, I see this stuff happen, but they talk about how player they are. Like, nah, bro, all you do all day is you scouting for talent, and because you have no game to actually go approach a woman in real life.
Okay.
You're using social media. That's cheating. That's a PED. That's a performance enhancement drug for this. And no. Don't get it twisted, guys. I'm not mad at you. You gotta use what you get, because it's not just you. I don't understand women. Women will take a picture in a 2-piece bikini. And God's bless some of them. They wear a thong and it looks like a G-string. It's just all up in there, and then just a little bit of floss covering everything, and got the nerve. Oh, I don't understand why you guys are so thirsty. Why you all on my picture? Because you are showing everything. I'm a lady. Get to know me. And it's kind of like the Dave Chappelle skit.
Okay, can I weigh in on this? Oh, go ahead.
So it's like the Dave Chappelle skit. Like, I'm sorry. I apologize. You're right. But you're wearing a uniform that attracts certain attention, and I thought that's the attention that you want. Not me, but I'm just saying. Those things are just... Or I do this, but I can understand why people get mad. I do it because I don't care that they're mad. you're watching these shows. God's blessed you for the opportunity to be able to watch the shows a little bit earlier before everybody else can watch it. And you go out and you literally put the entire shows, like you telling me to stop talking about Last Chance U.
Here's the real issue right here.
No, it doesn't bother me. I'm doing it. I actually do it because enough of my friends complain about it. And then I got friends who complain, I'm going to unfriend you if you tell me what happened in Power. Well, it only gives guys like me, agitators, more reason to do it. But just do what my man, do what Don does to me. Don Johnson does this every football season, our web guy. He unfollows me during football season because he knows on Saturday I'm going to blow his timeline up with Florida State stuff. Just don't look at it. You choose what you look at. So just social media in general just pulls out the bad in everybody.
Okay, we've talked about the whole liking some other girl's picture that, somebody's wife, girl, whatever.
Yeah.
But we can't be like that. We also got to say this. Like, if you're a married woman or a married man for that case, you don't need to be throwing up those pictures.
Yeah,
like, that's
but it's
disrespectful to your mate.
Actually, and I'm gonna go take a step.
Am I right
further.
or wrong?
You're right, and I'm gonna take it a step further. So, like, really, this is the real thing that irks me.
Go ahead.
People blog or write about everything, and they feel their opinion is so needed. Now, granted, I don't know why people listen to us, but we have a platform.
Right.
People are choosing to listen to 92.5, 1010XL, or doing the Facebook Live or whatever. You're choosing to do that. But like and it's just whatever their opinion. Like, so this is show Insecure that comes on about girls and stuff. It's a woman.
Do you literally watch every show on TV?
No. Actually, what happens is I pick 5 at a time, and then I binge watch them. So just like, I
wouldn't even think to watch a show called Insecure.
It's not mine. It's actually really good. It's a black chick. I'm just trying to help. That's funny. The text line, but it's just you'll see people because their dating life has been miserable, and they're thirst traps, and they're doing all this stuff. So all men are bad.
Okay, so I got
and then all women are bad.
I got to ask the obvious question.
So
I got to ask the obvious question.
Yeah,
what prompted this? What prompted this hate? Because it sounds like there's some deep-rooted issue you need to get out in the open.
Yeah, it's just the fact that people, your opinion is, I said it gives lames a platform. And so, like, yes, if you're listening on Facebook Live, I'm calling you a lame. If you feel I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. I know some of these people. Nobody talked to them in high school. They got 300 friends, and they got 300 people getting the amen corner, and now they feel empowered. They got 10 likes.
Why you got to do like this?
They got 10 likes on a picture
Why
on
you
Facebook.
got to do this? See, no, I can't.
No, because sometimes you got to let them know.
No, you don't.
Sometimes the people just climb up a raggedy ladder, and I'm trying to bring them down before it falls and collapses on them, and the reality sets in.
I'm not going to let you sit here and do
PSA.
this. It's not a PSA. It is not a PSA. You literally sit here and you post
the bash about men. Like, I got my degrees.
Scott,
I got
am I wrong on this?
I got this. Like, nah, dog. You are you make 20. You work at McDonald's. Stop. Nothing wrong with people who work at McDonald's, but don't try to make it seem like you're better than somebody. I don't try to make it seem like I'm better than anybody else, except for Gator fans and Hurricane fans, and that's it. And that's because people antagonize me.
I think this is out of bounds.
No, I'm just mad.
I think it's out of bounds. I think you post way too much. You're way too social media involved to call anybody out on their social media habits.
Well, I'm not calling them out necessarily on their habits. I'm calling them out for them having an opinion when nobody asked them to have an opinion.
So every time you post, somebody asked you to post that?
But people obviously, people care. I do it for the show. Actually, I do more of it for the show. I throw stuff out there and I see what gets attention, and that's the stuff that I actually bring in for our 6 points. I don't know if you've been paying attention.
You know what we should do?
Even when we freestyled, I already knew something we could talk about.
Here's what we should do. This should be a new segment. We should literally spend an entire segment with me picking out what James posted
it would be
the previous couple days and calling him out on it.
It'd be a great show.
Dude, wow.
But some of it you wouldn't be able to post because that's not what we talk about on this show. Some of it I'm just stirring the pot. The other part of it is I want dialogue. I'm trying to understand what people think. I'll take a side on a subject that I really don't agree with just to argue with people. And then sometimes I'm bored at work. So it's kind of like I just again, stir the pot. I'm bored at work, throw up something. I know this is going to get a whole bunch of people. And I actually know, some of the people who I'm really talking about that kind of are lames in real life, I love them. I love them for who they are. But I know who's going to respond to what.
Well, you already know.
I know if I throw something out there, this person's going to respond.
You don't have to log on to know what people are posting. Like, I mean, I know most people well enough that they all have a trend, if you will, a pattern, especially during election season. Like, I'd stop going on social media at that point because I already knew what everybody was going to post. It didn't matter. And like most of the time, if it's not a picture, I really just kind of scroll down. I told you the difference in me. Like, if I didn't have radio and I didn't have my quarterback business, I wouldn't be on social media.
Yeah, it's kind of important with the kids. You got that snip snap thing, man? What's it
Snapchat?
called?
Snapchat?
Yeah, whatever it is.
I love Snapchat. I'm a Snapchat king, man.
Can't do it. I'm scared of Snapchat.
I'll show you how to work it.
Terrified of Snapchat. Anything
See,
that
Dom, you see there? Makes a point.
But Dom. People like Dom.
No, but you're saying nobody asked you for anybody's opinion. No. You did. You just said that.
I said it gives lames.
No,
a
you
platform.
just said people are posting and nobody asked them.
For some of them, okay, my bad. Maybe I should back it up and clarify it. I don't mean everybody. I think sometimes some of your opinions are valid. But put it like this, I guess, if everything that I hear is either two-piece bathing suits, you want attention, and the internet's not good for you. Actually, this is funny. The top one, or if it's all guys ain't crap. There's one common denominator in all of that. First off, nobody told you to mess with all guys, and number two, there's a common denominator in that. If all women suck, it's a common denominator in that. Stop posting negativity. Stop doing all this stuff, and then just chill. It was not created for that.
Can I tell you what I'm hating on?
What are you hating on?
And I just thought about this, and our boy posted this on Intern. Has he earned his name yet?
No.
Okay. I'm hating on the hatred towards our boy Lucky Whitehead.
No, he deserved it. He deserved it, but that was one of the points. He got cut. He deserves it.
It's about dang time.
First off, that's the worst. The name does not match.
Oh, dang. We got to be careful. I forgot he's from FAU.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It was a different culture then. It was that he didn't get coached. It was different.
Dang, I forgot all about
he's
that.
Played, was it 3 years?
I don't know. All I know is he's had 3 catches with 3 fumbles. The man said his dog got stolen, but then it magically reappeared.
The dog did reappear?
Then he had the dog back. He said it was brought back the next day.
Anybody who's getting dogs held for ransom, man, you are not lucky, bro.
And now what he got arrested for what? He was shoplifting?
Shoplifting? You know what? You can't be shoplifting when you can make 6 figures. The last people we just talked about Mississippi.
He stole $200 worth of merchandise.
We just talked about dudes in Scuba, Mississippi who can't eat. And you over here making at least $750,000.
No,
you
shoplifting making $750K.
You stealing boxes? Come on, Craig.
I just feel like Lucky Whitehead. We may have done him in.
The person in the camera said it don't really look like you, but when you turn your head, it kind of look like. What did Red say about Craig? Like we was in there watching the replay going over and over again.
Yeah, he was sold from a convenience store. It wasn't even like a Macy's.
He was doing that for the thrill.
He took less than $200 worth of items from a convenience store and then failed to show for an appearance in court.
Yeah, that's tough. Now I got cut. Ezekiel Elliott around here. See, this is actually I can't say what I want to say. Like that's dumb trouble. At least Zeke knocked somebody out.
No, Zeke, I told you, Zeke's getting high maintenance. Zeke's got 30 for 30 written all over him.
Ohio State running backs. Just saying.
I told you.
He kind of got a little Mo Claret in him.
No, listen.
He's more explosive than Maurice. But he got.
If you're going to go play for Herbs, you got to know.
You got to break at least 7 of the 10 commandments.
And when you leave, they're going to be looking for you because they know who Herbs recruits.
I'm still trying to figure out how bad of a person must you be for Urban Meyer to kick you off your team, off his team.
Cam.
I mean, that was just Cam just stole the laptop.
But what was it? Noah Spence?
Yeah, no. I still want to know what Noah Spence did.
I don't know. I mean, he's got guys that have bodies.
But to clarify, I'm not saying don't get on social media and don't enjoy it. I'm just saying be happy, operate in your truth,
and don't steal stuff from a convenience.
And don't steal stuff from convenience stores. Yeah.
Especially if your name's Lucky.
Yeah, because that's not cool. How you steal $200 worth of stuff from a convenience store? I'm trying to figure out what you stealing.
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point.
With a name like Lucky Whitehead, I think he's got a career in country music.
He
He's
doesn't
got
look like
good.
he doesn't look like a country.
He ain't got the look
musician.
for
He
Well,
ain't even.
I'm talking
he
about
ain't
the
even
name.
looking like Hootie.
I'm just
He
talking
ain't
about the
even
name.
looking like Hootie. I don't care what anybody says.
Lucky Whitehead.
His
That just
name
sounds
is-
like a country singer name.
His
But
name is not
that is
Darius,
actually
his
a
name is
really
Hootie.
it's a really good point. As what can you steal that equals $200 in a convenience store?
I mean, they sell waters two for $2.22.
You know how much
Gatorades are like buy three get one free. They got bubble gum. How much bubble gum and beef jerky can one buy?
That's actually a really good. Maybe it was just one of those things where in Virginia, which is where he was, maybe it's just 200 was it was under 200. Maybe he stole something that was $6.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So it's a mystery. Yeah, I got you. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
That's
too
still
bad.
bad.
I feel like we did Lucky in though. We'd never talked about him, and then we looked him up that one day.
Nah.
And now he's been on 3 consecutive week shows.
3 catches, 3 fumbles did him in.
That's a good point.
He should have known to just sit at home. He should have done what Bosa does. Like when they were talking about when he was at Ohio State, his whole apartment was a chair, a TV, and an Xbox. Nothing else. If I'm Lucky Whitehead and I done fumbled 3 times on 3 catches, that's all I'm doing. I don't even want to. Actually, I'm not even playing Call of Duty because I might get in trouble for saying something to some little kid. No online, no internet. Just cable.
Just sit there.
Just sit there.
Old
and look
school
at the TV.
antenna.
Yep.
Bert said he saw a guy get arrested at the gas station for stealing boiled peanuts.
It must be Randy's nuts.
He's not selling at the gas station.
Oh, he's not. I'm not saying ain't no boiled peanuts worth getting
How
arrested.
you gonna arrest somebody for stealing boiled peanuts?
You can kind of just be like, all right, bro, I got the $1.50.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Life must be hard if you're stealing boiled peanuts. Maybe that was what's going on with Lucky. Maybe life was hard and he didn't know what to do. He ran out of luck.
Hey, let's come back and get to the best SEC quarterbacks. Let's get while DeAndre's here. Let's get his opinion on this.
Okay.
All right. We'll be on the other side. We'll be right back. Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
J. William Culinary. Go see Jay Phelan, People's Chef. Jay's like an author, man. It's a big deal. A huge deal. JWilliamCulinary.com is where you go. Look at their menu. He'll cook your meals. He'll prepare them here. He'll deliver them to your house. You just got to heat them up and eat them. They're healthy. They're delicious. They're better than what you're feeding your kids now. Just go do it. JWilliamCulinary.com. Tell them the Sports Den sent you. That's the People's Chef, Jay Phelan.
Oh, here, you want me to tell you? You want to just give your top 10 all time and then see where it matches on this list?
Let me guess. Let me see how many I can guess.
All right. Oh, you want to do that on radio?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is by a reputable source, 247.
Okay. Is Nee still a 247?
That's a good question.
DeAndre, you know who's coming through now? I'm telling you, man. It is Joey.
Okay, what? Yeah. But
Yeah, he's
quarterback.
Dude, yeah. He's a quarterback. I've been telling people this all year. I think he just got a bad rap because he was young.
Mm-hmm.
This dude will call me Sunday night. Coach, when can we train? I ain't really got any time. Just come pick me up. And he'll go with me first training session. He'll stay all day, just go work. Yeah. Drop him back off. He just go straight to the room, plays Xbox, go back do it the next day. Wow. Yeah. Dude's turned the corner.
Trying to get better, man.
He's he went Charlotte Regional. He went 6'5", 235, 4.7 league. Wow.
235.
Yeah, solid.
Look on your
God.
look on your Facebook from your phone, see if this thing is still frozen.
Oh no, 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 mom.
It's not for it's showing live on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife said it was frozen too.
Yeah, I told her to refresh.
I told you we got that meeting at 11.
Don't forget, y'all got week 5. Jags.
Wow. Who's week 5?
I think we're losing to Oakland.
Pittsburgh.
At Pittsburgh.
How are the facilities down there for you?
Adjustment. You know, we only got one hot tub, which is like a bath. You know, so you got to share everything with it, the whole athletics. You know, so we don't have our own section, which is straight. And I would say the training room is like the size of this right here. This whole little room.
What about weight room? Y'all got your own
Weight room, well, we share it. And it's about a little bit bigger than this.
I mean, they put money into it, or?
I mean, it's supposed to be building a whole new indoor facility. You know, it's supposed to be one of the best in the nation, too. Better than Clemson, better than Florida State. You know, new weight room, new turf field, like Georgia's. Outside of it, man, it's supposed to be 3 stories, man. But
I mean, it's still relatively young. I mean, believe it or not, like, I'm trying to think. Well, where it was when I got to FSU in 02, they were knocking down the Moore. And they were redoing everything. But our training room was about the size, maybe these 2 rooms.
Oh, dude,
and then they had the little steel. They had a jacuzzi and they had the little steel things that you could just get in.
That's what they got. That's what we got. You know, that's good for 02, but this is 2017.
Well, I'm just saying they only been playing football at FAU since when?
Like 17 years.
Really? Oh.
Has it really been 17?
Something like that, yeah.
Dang. Who came first, FA or FI?
I think FI. I don't know. FIU got way better facilities.
Which one is is that where Howard was? Schnellenberger was at?
Yeah, FA. Yeah.
Yeah, it is about that because I remember when Howard he took it over. It was a big deal. And they were like the. Yeah.
So did you get your AA?
I did.
So you may be able to get some masters.
Yeah, I'm supposed to graduate next year. So if I stay for extra 2, then I'll do the masters.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Right now,
This is the Sports Den on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It is the Sports Den on 1010XL 92.5 FM, brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Go on by from ABC. Get some of the good stuff. Go in the humidor.
Yeah,
see what they got going on there.
It's always something good in that humidor.
Coming to you from ThinMD Med Spa Studios, thinmdmedspa.com. I go, what's today? Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So I go Wednesday. You go today?
I slid through.
How'd you do?
Still status quo. Not bad. Could be worse. They gave me a hard time.
Yeah.
They said they know what I've been doing. Ain't no need to lie.
I'm down 43 pounds.
Nice.
43. Yep. I go Wednesday. So I'm telling you guys, go to thinmdmedspa.com. If you're just feeling something's off, you don't have to need to lose weight. Like, this is a real doctor. You can go in there. He'll help you out, help you feel better. Work for me. That's for dang sure. So they got a client for life in me. I'll never stop going to that place. Top 10 SEC quarterbacks of all time?
Yeah, all time.
I'm going to assume that this list, I've not seen the list, so I'm going to assume that it's weighted heavily on the last 15, 20 years because of the evolution of football.
Not a bad assumption.
DeAndre, you want to help me with this?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Tebow, obviously, is in the top 10.
Yes.
Warfel, obviously.
Yes.
Yes.
Cam.
Yes.
Manziel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh. This is where you got to help me, DeAndre. I stated the obvious.
What about Peyton?
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
Peyton. Yeah, Peyton.
I don't know about you, but I actually liked it. I actually liked A.J. McCarron. He was a winner.
Yep.
He's in the top 10?
Mm-hmm.
He was a winner.
Really? Hold on. AJ, who did this list first?
247.
Which 247? Like 247 National?
It says 247 Sports. So
wow. Okay, now that threw me for a loop. Because A.J. McCarron statistically, I mean, there's no – so if he's in, like, what about let me think here. What about, like, David Green?
Yep. Got to put David Green in there.
Yeah.
At one point, he was the all-time winning quarterback.
So how many is that? That's 6, 7?
Sure. I wasn't counting. I'm just reading.
Am I missing obvious ones here?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Spurrier.
Yep.
Archie Manning.
Yep.
Eli Manning?
Yep.
No. What? Oh, okay.
Really?
They got him in there.
I'm surprised with that one.
So all of them are from a couple teams.
Well, I mean, if you really just take the SEC bias out, and
we've only got one Alabama, so there's got to be another.
About it, like you've only said you really skipped an obvious Alabama guy. Should have been your first choice over A.J. McCarron. Who's the person? Broadway.
Oh,
Name it.
Name it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was
That's all
37.
10 then.
Yeah.
I mean, it was they put out 15. They got
You told me 10.
I said top 10. My bad. It sounded better. But actually, yeah, some of them you put David Green in there. David Green was 15, which doesn't make sense. It's really not so much the 15 that they picked; it's the order in their rank. Tebow is number 1. I mean, that's fine. I don't really have an argument about that. Peyton Manning is number 2. Guess who's number 3?
Who?
Johnny Manziel.
Yep.
Yeah, statistically, I can. Dude.
Over Cam Newton, a guy who has a Heisman and a national championship. It's about winning. I mean, being a quarterback is about like winning has to take weight into that. And if we're going to talk about statistically, David Green's 15. David Green just was like he broke the all-time win record when he was at college. I mean, I'm just saying, Dak Prescott is one of the guys in there, which all right.
Dak Prescott's in there?
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
Pat Sullivan is 8.
Okay.
Aaron Murray.
Okay.
And people forget Tim Couch was pretty darn good.
Yeah, I did forget about Tim Couch.
But let's think about so Peyton Manning's in there, right?
Yeah.
Johnny Manning. I'm thinking when I think about quarterback, I think obviously statistics has something to do with it, but national championships, what they did in their time. I mean, if you're going to put some of these guys in there, T. Martin's not on the list. Right. Peyton Manning, for as successful as he was, couldn't win an SEC championship, couldn't beat Florida, couldn't win a national championship. T. Martin goes in there right after that and just accomplishes it. Now, granted, he did he did it with a wide receiver who wore number 47. That is amazing. Like, I just could not have any confidence in wearing number 47 at wide receiver. It's just a stank. It's a stank.
What did Michael Irvin wear?
Again, it doesn't make sense. Like it should be impossible to do that. But if you make it look good, I guess that means you're really that good. But like you said in it, and it just shows why we need some of these old guys. This is why we need some of the old guys to still have opinions, because it is very front loaded with the youth. I forgot who's the best documentary I watched about the first black quarterback at Tennessee.
Yeah, my man we did the research into him, and now he's the associate athletic director.
Yeah, I'm like, something's got to be said for that.
Okay, let me ask you this.
And Rex
give me the top 5 at Florida State.
Top 5 at Florida State in order, or just 5?
Just give me the 5, and then I'll ask you to put them in order.
Okay, Jameis, Chris, Charlie, my man at ESPN would be in it.
Danny Cannell?
Yeah, Danny Cannell. And then Peter Tom Willis. That was one of the ones in that kind of.
No, I know who that is. Really? So, okay. So, Jameis is one?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's tough for me to say that because it's still so new and I want to give some kind of bias, but man.
I'm not a Florida State fan.
He was so good, like so quick. Like you got to give it to him.
I'm not a Florida State fan, but man, see from afar, and I get it. Jameis is a crazy talent, but man, the stuff that Charlie Ward used to do.
Yeah. The only reason I say Jameis is obviously is there's so many things that he has that plays in his favor. The record, and then he has the same number of national championships, but he actually played for the opportunity to play in 2, and he did it back to back. Charlie, one could argue. I mean, Charlie has the blemish in the national championship, but I mean,
the other thing
good
to enhance your argument a little bit.
Charlie also had better wide receivers.
Yeah, and the system that they were running then,
and the team. I would argue that. Not argue. This is easy. The ACC was nowhere near what it was. What it was. Even though Jameis ran through it, it was still easier than '93.
Yeah.
But that being said, Florida and Miami were tougher than what Jameis had to go through. And I mean, even those teams like you lose to Miami, you're out. Like all those FSU teams that were so great, you lose to one good team and you're out. Like now they would probably playing in all those national championships in this era.
Yeah,
but that's the only. I mean, those are
what's the score right now? What's QBU right now?
They'll probably still say like USC, just because of history.
And I guess that's my point. Is there even such a thing right now?
I mean, you got to give, no matter what they play like in the NFL. I've got to give Jimbo the nod. I mean, he gets you there. It's just you suck when you get to the NFL. It's not his fault. It's not his fault that Minnesota drafted Ponder.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you.
You know my feelings on
that
EJ.
Is Florida State, but I guess like back in the day, it used to be Penn
State.
Miami was at It was Penn State at one
State
time.
Was linebacker you.
They had a good run of quarterbacks too. But right now, I mean, I guess it is Florida State. As far as developing somebody, I really can't think of anybody that just stands out. That if my own son was a quarterback, is there a school that I would look at him and go, if they offer, you need to go?
I'm gonna tell you why FSU. And this is nobody thinks about this, especially in recruiting. When you go to that school, that's your plan to go to that school. But when you think about it, you go to FSU, if you don't get drafted, like out of FSU, the school you're going to transfer to, you're going to probably start somewhere else, and you got a chance to get drafted out of there. Just think about it. In theory, FSU won 2 national championships back-to-back, or quarterback from out of FSU won 2 national championships back-to-back.
Y'all will find a way to spin anything.
But just think about it. He was in the system for years. But he went to Alabama. He earned it with Alabama. I'm just saying, if you leave, I mean – DeAndre was there for a semester, but I'm sure they'll use that in recruiting. Yeah. Come here, boom. He was here. Now he's at FAU. Malik Henry, I think is the kid's name that we were all high on. He's at a JUCO. When he goes somewhere, come to Florida State. You'll still get, even if you transfer, you'll still Clint Trickett transfers to West Virginia, starts at West Virginia. It's just if it doesn't work, name other schools that it did not work out for that quarterback.
I'm
at
not
that
disagreeing
school.
with you.
So that's all I'm saying.
Purdue
had
2 SEC quarterbacks last year.
Oh yeah, I mean
Notre
Dame is the only school that you can kind of say it happens, but there's just only 2 schools that are dumb enough to take those guys.
Yeah, that's a good question to ask Quincy actually. So we're gonna have a guy named Quincy Avery who DeAndre knows. I'd say one of the top quarterback trainers in the country, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring him on tonight to talk about Matt Corral, the guy that committed to Florida over the weekend, because he's worked with him. He's seen him through Elite 11. And before he comes on, I want to come back next segment. And then after we get done with Quincy, we'll do the Jags segment. All right? I want to come back next segment and actually talk about quarterback commitment to Florida and what this does with Justin Fields. And what this does for recruiting, just in general.
Real quick question.
And then bring Quincy on. Yeah.
Rex Grossman, greatest UF quarterback.
Man, shut up.
He's the only UF quarterback to play in the Super Bowl.
Stop. Just stop. See, this is why. Never mind.
I love Rex, man.
Somebody called in wanting to know where Danny Werfel stood up on that list there.
Yeah.
What spot?
Where was he in the top 15?
5. Gotcha.
Fair enough.
And Spurrier right after him.
That's another guy, though. I love Danny Werfel. Maybe my favorite quarterback at Florida. But Danny Werfel had some weapons around him now.
Yep.
I mean, crazy weapon.
Makes you look good when you got good wide receivers. But, I mean, you got to throw it to him.
Yeah.
He stood in that pocket, got beat up. I give him his props. No, I'm saying he did. I give him his
got late hit all the time.
Yeah. I'm not. They admitted to it. Like, I've talked to Dre and I've talked to Pete, and they're like, they get 2 steps from the quarterback and he has the nerve to throw the ball, they're going to hit him. So it's just,
hey, let's do this. Actually, let me flip it. Let's come back and let's get to the Jags before we get to that. And we'll get into some of the Duval Ford text line, and then we'll get into the newest quarterback commitment that Florida got over the weekend. We still got all that left in an hour here on the Sports Den. Don't go anywhere.
Y'all.
Yep.
Man, cool. Appreciate you coming through.
Actually, hey, Scott, will you get a picture of us three?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or actually, I forgot. They turn right here. Never mind. Yeah. Never mind.
Not doing all this extra work.
I've already taken pictures.
Yeah, he did good. He has a picture of everybody on the mics. Hey, don't trip, man. Not a computer's not charging.
All right, man. Maybe I'll come back and keep throwing up about it.
Try, bro.
That's it.
Try. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get down there.
Yeah.
Hair growth through your own stem cells by
How long we
using
got,
your
Scott?
own blood through platelet-rich plasma. This is a safe and easy procedure with no downtime. Now you can stimulate hair growth and
I can't
obtain
look out the
healthier
corner of my
and more
eye
hair
like that.
as early as 3
Like,
months
and
after one treatment.
I'd rather
For
not
more
even be in it.
information, call IHRS at 904-268-IHRS.
They actually had a lot of people.
268-IHRS.
Reach. That's the most that we ever had in
You
reach.
can stimulate hair growth.
I also tagged a lot of people, so I'm kind of did a little bit different.
I guess it was a good time, I guess, because they got down to 0 easy.
I see him trying to justify.
We back up to 3. See?
You see that?
We're back up to 3. Waking them up. But yeah, I don't know if that was good, but yeah, the kicker, he left the team.
What happened?
He said he's leaving because he has an eating disorder.
This is Calais Campbell of your Jacksonville Jaguars, and you're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL.
Yes, sir. Man, you all right over there?
Yeah, the microphone's just moved. I'm like, whatever Calais says you're listening to, that's what you're listening to.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you to DeAndre for stopping by. He had to head out.
That was cool, man. It's good to hear his story and good to see the growth.
I'm gonna give the dude props on one thing, man. And I don't, I say this, and people will say all the time we shouldn't have done it, and that's obvious. Okay, he's owned up.
Mm-hmm.
He's owned it. I mean, and I'm not real sure what better you could say about somebody who does something like that than they've owned it and done everything that they possibly could do to change and rehab and everything else to just move on with their life.
One of the things, the answers that he gave, I know we got to go into our analysis of everything, was him talking about going to a battered woman shelter.
Yeah.
Like,
it got kind of deep in here.
Yeah.
Like, it got heavy in here.
But I think, like, when people always say, like, oh, it's just a show, like, I mean, like, it's a lot of things you can do for show, but, like, if that's what you've been accused of, like, if that's what happened to you, like, you've been convicted of that or whatever, and then you have to go and face women who have seen that every day, that takes some.
Well, that's why I said that, because being in here and looking at his face as he's saying that, there wasn't nothing show about that.
Right.
Like, you could tell he was sincere with that and the way that affected him. So that's why I said it got kind of heavy in here. But on that note, if you let's get into our Jag segment, and if you need any help with the home loan, if you are thinking about buying a home or upgrading or just refinancing and maybe redoing your kitchen or adding on an addition, go to Willie Smith at Willie Smith Home Loans. Let him get you taken care of if you have VA availability. Nobody else to call other than Willie.
Call 429-3587 or go to williesmithhomeloans.com.
There you go. So who we got this week?
You said Pittsburgh.
The Steelers?
Mm-hmm.
Is that who we got? You sure? You looked it up? Okay. Does he seem confident?
Yeah, we'll see.
Intern?
What was that website again? So I can make sure I'm not reading the wrong, like 2 years ago roster.
You're going to have me give him out our secrets?
Okay,
well,
never mind.
Just...
I'll just go with the flow. Actually, I don't really need the roster, to be honest with you.
You don't need a roster for this one?
No, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen and why it's going to happen. There's three names I just need to know.
Yeah. It is Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. We both have them at 2-2 right now.
Right.
October 8th, 1:00. In Pittsburgh against the Steelers, 2-2 going in. I mean, it's a pretty easy one to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the names you're talking about.
Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, and you need the
and Roethlisberger.
Yeah, you must say you need that. You need me to just say that? I mean, yeah.
No, I mean the reason why I asked that is because
actually I'll give you 4. I'm 95% certain this man is juicing. But I'm 100% certain that I don't care. James Harrison.
I'm 100% certain that if he was sitting right here and said, I ain't juicing, you'd say, you ain't.
You ain't juicing. I agree with you. I don't know what I was thinking. And also what they have in their favor is something that has not helped the Jaguars in recent years.
They play football?
Yes, that too. One of the things about the Jaguars is that though the teams have not been very good, and we talk about their talent and their depth, players that leave and go to other franchises tend to have some success. They've got a guy by the name of Tyson Alualu on their roster.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not worried about Tyson Alualu to bring that up. I'm just worried the fact that anytime somebody's on the other team's roster, that means it looks bad. It's a bad look on the Jags.
Yeah.
Just doesn't work very well.
Yeah. Well, last year their defense wasn't very good. The Steelers.
No.
Offense was great. And we remember a couple weeks ago we were going through the salary cap, and they spend the least amount of money on defense of just about anybody in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
This year, their first-round pick was defense. It was T.J. Watt.
Who's I think is going to be very good.
And they've got him on their depth chart right behind James Harrison. So whatever James Harrison is, however old he is, he's got to slow down at some point.
Right.
If you look at – and the reason I asked you about the 3 names is all I hear in Jacksonville is how good this defense is in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
And your defense has got to be good enough to where you can look at something like this and go, we've got a chance.
Mm-hmm.
That Antonio Brown doesn't matter what side of the field. If we don't want to flip sides, that we're paying A.J. Boye a ton of money, and he's got him on that side. Mm-hmm. And we've got, Jalen Ramsey, who's supposed to be all everything. He's got him on this side. They've got Martavis Bryant. I like the matchup of the other person on Martavis Bryant. You know what I mean? If our defense is that good, then at some point our defense just has to be that good where we can go to Pittsburgh and we can feel like we have a chance.
Right. I mean, Eli Rogers is pretty good. Darius Haywood-Bay is just a burner. The problem is that it's not just the wide receivers and just an average running.
Juju Schuster-Smith.
Yeah, it's not just an average. It's just not good wide receivers with an average running back.
Yeah.
Or average wide receivers they got the best running back and the best wide receiver, arguably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL.
And a guy who can get him the ball.
Who's hard to take down, and it's just tough. The only way I really would change my pick is if he's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
If Roethlisberger's hurt.
Right.
And they just do. Here's the thing: their defense isn't always the greatest, but their guys just know what to do.
They find a way to get it done,
and they fall in place. Like William Gay, Crib, grew up with him, but man, he's been playing forever. He's old. He ain't left. He ain't leave, like he left one year, came back. They just stay there. You play forever, and it's like playing a bunch of old men in basketball. Mm-hmm. They just know what to do. They ain't gonna dunk on you. They're not gonna out dribble you. They're just gonna technique you to death. So you got these old men that's lulling you to sleep and techniquing you to death on defense, and you got like bombs over Baghdad on offense, like explosiveness, which is really the way that the reason why I believe that we'll struggle is they're gonna attack the defense and attack, and our offense doesn't. Again, I don't know what our offense is. It's just their offense is just that much. I think their offense is that good, and they've beat really good defenses week in and week out. The one thing about Le'Veon Bell and the one thing about Antonio Brown, it doesn't matter who it is. Like they do their thing.
They're freaks.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't see any way that I picked the Jags on this. There is no way that I picked the Jags. I think Todd Haley is a very good offensive coordinator. That's who I wanted the Jags to go get as the head coach. I like Mike Tomlin.
Actually, Don put a really good point up on the text line. What? Are they the NFL version of the Spurs? They're the closest thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess technically you can call New England that, but New England wins more than that.
Except for the fact that they do have the best running back in the game, and they do have a top 3 receiver in the game. And, I mean, they have
the
stars.
Spurs, they had Tony Parker and then the big fundamental.
Well, I
he was like the best,
that, but it's like, yeah, I guess so, but.
And then who's the guy with the nappy braids from 1995 that I can't think about?
Pittsburgh's that team that you want every year to look at and go, okay, their window's closed, and it's time for them to move forward. And they get old, and then all of a sudden they make these little moves throughout the roster where they get a little bit younger and they buy more time. And they'll have a bad year once out of every 4 or 5 years. But then they seem to be right back there, and it's that. And it doesn't matter who Pittsburgh's playing; they've got a chance to win.
If I'm being honest, if I'm like the rest of the NFL, I want them to be like right. I don't want them to have that way off year where they're drafting top 5.
No, absolutely,
because then it's gonna suck for the next 8 years.
Yeah. They drafted Josh Dobbs this year, as well. I mean, and that's right. They got the running back from Pitt, James Conner,
who will probably play, and it's just they do a really good job at the running back position. Even when Bell was suspended, or when he couldn't play.
Yeah. No, I don't see any way the Jags win this game. No way.
No. So we both got them at 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Which is, to me, is great moving into it's just, if we're in that position, it's exciting. We're in October. We're in the middle of October.
Listen, at 2 and 3 after 5, and you've got the Rams at home and at the Colts before your bye week, that's not a bad situation.
No, that's right. I would love to be in that situation.
You've got a chance to go into the bye at 4 and 3.
And you know what we have a chance to do? Something that we haven't done in a while. Play meaningful. What did I say?
Yep.
A step-by-step process. Play meaningful games in November first.
Yeah.
Let's not be out of playoff contention before November comes. Now you're in a situation where, we'll break down these other games on the other shows, but you got a chance.
Well, you look at this next stretch of their schedule, and we will break it down in other shows, but if they're going to make hay, this is where they're going to make it. They got the Rams at home, at the Colts, then a bye week, then the Bengals at home, the Chargers at home, and at the Browns. Those 5 games right there, if you are 2-3 after 5, decide whether or not you're playing meaningful games in December.
Right.
Decides whether or not you're drafting in the top 5 again. Like that stretch right there you got to have, because your next home stretch after that, you go at Browns, at Cardinals, but then you got the Colts at home, okay. Then you got Seahawks and Texans at home. You're not going to be favored in either one of those games unless something drastic happens.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, these next 5 games are huge. If you can come out of there 2-3, you still got a chance.
Right.
I like the 2 that I picked them in. I like the 2 that you picked them in. I don't think we're reaching is my point.
No, I think if you can't
beat the Jets,
we got issues.
And if you can't beat either, just one of the 3, the Texans, Titans, or Ravens, then yeah, you're going to, at that point, then you need to be playing for the number 1 pick. If you come out of this thing 1-4, 0-5.
If they're 0-5, the city's going to be very upset. But I don't think. But again, that's a big if.
No,
I don't think we'll be in that situation.
Happens.
I think we're 2-3 going into week 6, and then we'll have some more good news probably after that.
Yeah. Let me get a couple of the Duval Ford text line before we bring Quincy on to talk the new Florida quarterback recruit. A lot of love for DeAndre. Dom wants to know, we mentioned this earlier, if Clint Trickett's head is too small for his body.
That's funny.
327, you got your answer. He said, does FAU have an indoor practice facility? Wondering how their facilities compared to that, if that factored in recruiting-wise. Said he's loving the interview. Dom put a lot of things that we can't read. That's pretty normal.
Always.
Yeah. 591 says he binge watched the whole series yesterday. He's got mad respect for DeAndre. Talk about a young man doing everything right and not feeling sorry for himself. Was pissed when he didn't get any D1 offers. Talks about who else he was also. That's Cigars are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also impressed with a couple other guys on there. No matter what they do at the next level, they will they'll both be great men and positive members of society. Can't wait to see what they do next. I would really encourage you, if you haven't, to go and watch Last Chance U. And we didn't get into a whole lot of it because I didn't want to put him in that situation talking about a coach. But that coach on there, how he still got a job, I don't understand. I don't get it.
Mm. Oh, and Bert, yeah, I played with Corey. Me and Corey were in the same. Corey Niblock were in the same recruiting class.
He's a local guy, right?
Yep, went to Nice.
Nice, yeah. I
didn't know his dad. That cool.
If somebody wanted to know, Dom want to know, Chris Risk isn't in your top 5?
Nah, that's my dude. I like Chris. Chris is a great person. He's doing kind of what's similar to what you do, quarterback camps in California, and he's doing his media stuff. But he's not as bad as everybody makes him seem. But he's definitely nowhere near the top 10.
Yeah. Dom said, Scott, you'll get a spot with Migos before Lucky Whitehead does country music.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why I played Migos earlier.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's do this. Let's take a break. When we come back, let's get Quincy on. You'll like Quincy. You and Quincy actually could be tight. Y'all remind me a lot of each other.
Really?
Which may be terrible for radio.
Should be awesome.
Yeah, this should be fun. Quincy's very opinionated. Extremely opinionated. He just in this last draft.
I'm not opinionated.
No, not at all. This last draft, just so you guys know, he had 3 quarterbacks drafted. Deshaun Watson being one of them, which we'll get into. I want to get his thoughts on Blake Bortles. Josh Dobbs, he's trained for a long time.
So can I ask him?
What?
About Dobbs?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just curious. If it was distracting. I just want to know if it was distracting or not. It's kind of cool.
All right, we'll be right back.
Ah, crap, I forgot.
I guess I got you. Listen, are you in the market for a new home, whether it be 6 months, a year out, or even 2 years out? What you need to do is have a game plan. The best person for that is Willie Smith, part of the Hamilton Group. WillieSmithHomeLoans.com. What you need to do is call 429-3587. Let Willie lay it all out for you. Put it all on the line so that you can be able to get that mortgage so that you can get the home of your dream. Willie is a vet. He's the VA home loan expert. Anybody with a home loan needs him. That's Willie Smith, 429-3587, NMLS 834932.
Just saw RG3's working out for the Chargers tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
RG3's getting a shot? But Caps doesn't?
Yeah.
Good night. RG3 didn't even have knees.
Yeah. Even the producer went to go use the bathroom.
That's a good one. I didn't even catch the irony.
What's that?
Florida's finally having a good week for recruiting. It just so happens to be Shark Week.
That sucks, by the way. Yesterday.
What?
Michael Phelps was to race the shark yesterday.
I didn't watch that match.
He didn't even race a shark. He raced a simulator.
I mean, it's probably safer.
But they built it up. He was in the cage, and the shark came up to the cage and was biting on the cage, building up to it, and then last night they showed that crap.
David, tax law.
Hey, Quincy, Scott with the Sports Den here on 1010XL, calling for your interview with the show. If you could, please call back 641-1010, 904-641-1010.
I'm going to text him right now.
Okay.
Y'all remember Bo Beach?
Yeah, that's my dude.
Did you see?
No.
He just signed a pro deal over in Sweden.
Nice.
Sweden's not a bad gig.
And Max did.
Text him right now. Please tell her. I gotta have your number. That would really suck.
I've been finding out all the people I don't have their number.
Okay, thank you.
Last couple days. if he don't call, I tell him to get on and push him next. So he's got a.
The Sports Den on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is the Sports Den, brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, coming to you from Thin MD Med Spa Studios. Been a good show, man.
Yeah, it's fun. DeAndre's a good interview, man. Good kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some flack for saying he's the best quarterback in the state of Florida from a couple Florida State fans on the text line. Saying DeAndre Francois.
You suck, intern.
Wow.
He just gave us this intel. And then I text him, man. I'm telling him all kinds of congratulations. And it's not even, he's like, nah, not me. Come
what
on,
in
man.
the world?
You got one job. I know the kid. I trained him. I just text him who you just said. Now I can't say the information. Because it's
the basketball
it's
player.
false.
You
The
said
basketball
just signed
player
a
that you
deal
just
in
said.
Switzerland.
I just text him. Jeez. I just texted him. I'm like, man, I'm over here like,
you got
man.
my man looking like a fool now.
Yeah, he's over here texting me like, man, Coach James been smoking that Kimdichi.
Jeez.
Man. At least, Scott, you got something good for us to come back from that?
Is that Q?
Yeah, that's Q.
Thank you.
All
At
right.
least somebody's doing their job.
All right, so,
man.
yeah. I wanted to bring
this. Good night, man.
I mean, dadgum. You get an intern. Now he's saying, no, it was somebody else.
No,
Can
it's
he
too
get
late.
an intern to give us right
Do
information?
you know what would have happened if
It
we would have
doesn't
just
even
announced
say
that?
Bow Beach, bro. Golly.
Good night. If we would have said that, like we would have been like,
What do you got to do to get an intern?
People already question our credibility. Like that would have really shot it. I'm glad I just texted him before I just ran with that.
My goodness. So anyway, let me get Quincy, the guy I was telling y'all about earlier on. Quincy, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Q, give us some advice on how we get good interns.
Man, it's tough. I still haven't found one yet. So you guys are going to tell me. If you even got an intern, then you got to lay up on me.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll trade you. So Quincy, I appreciate you calling in, man. Let me give everybody kind of the lowdown on Quincy Avery here. He's up in Atlanta, works down at IMG some, right?
Yeah, did my draft prep for guys out there.
Yeah, and Quincy trains quarterbacks, and once Matt Corral committed to Florida, I realized I had a problem, James.
What's that?
I ain't never seen the dude. And so right away I'm like, all right, who can I call that I know's seen him? And so that's how we got Quincy here. And so I want to give the Florida people some lowdown information on actually what this kid brings to the table. And then I want to ask Quincy about a couple other guys that he trains that the Jags will see as well. So, Q, what can you tell us about who Florida's getting as a quarterback?
In Matt Corral, you're getting someone who's like uniquely talented in the fact of he has the ability to make all his throws, but he's also a dynamic athlete. He's going to be able to push the ball down the field. He's got a very strong arm. I'm just interested to see how he progresses in terms of the leadership and stuff like that. I think some people have given him a bad rap, but I think he's matured a ton over the last 18 months. I've just seen him kind of mature as a young man. So I'm really excited about that. And I can't wait to see what he does in terms of leadership now as he's just developing more. In terms of, just going from a kid to a man. He's done a great job with that. But you guys are getting a really special guy. He's going to have the ability to help the Florida Gators program.
So I'm just going to be honest here is I watched this film today.
Mm-hmm.
And, Florida is in play for Justin Fields as well. And I shouldn't do this, but I'm just going to say it. Justin Fields' film, man, is some of the best I've ever seen.
I mean, my thing, too, is explain to me about because he's a California kid, the level of competition that he played. I mean, I know you get a chance to break down more of the skills things, but, can you talk a little bit about that? Because he doesn't play the big-time ball over there, does he? I heard it was smaller school.
He's in a pretty tough division. He's over there at Oaks Christian. Oaks Christian's produced a lot of the top quarterbacks out of the California area. Over the past 10, 15 years, he's since transferred to Long Beach Poly, and that's one of the top programs in the country. High school-wise, he's got great coaching. He's got a really competitive atmosphere to be around there. They play a national schedule this upcoming year. So I think his competition that he plays with is on par with anybody else in the country. But in terms of the Justin Fields thing, I don't think it's fair for us to compare many kids with Justin Fields. Reason being is, in terms of the physical traits and abilities, Justin Fields is as talented as anybody that I've ever seen as a quarterback in high school. So if we start comparing guys with him, then of course it's going to be difficult.
Well, you know the reason I'm doing that too is because obviously he's down to a couple, and as a Florida fan, I look at it and I'm happy. I'm happy, but at the same time, I'm like, oh crap.
As a Florida State guy, I'm ecstatic. Cool. You got who you got him. What that lets me know, just knowing recruiting. Think we got a good chance. The other side of it too is we don't really do very well with California quarterbacks anyway. So I mean,
in Florida in general.
I don't really care what the other schools do. Like actually, they had Felicia's son down in Miami and they loved him. So I mean, for Friday, what was his name? The toothless wonder.
Kaya. Now with the Detroit Lions,
which is cool, great. I don't care. Never won a game that mattered against us. But the California guys are weird. Nothing wrong with them. They're just different. I played at Florida State. They're just different. I wonder how it's going to fit in. Actually, you've seen him, so you've trained him. So how does he fit in with some Southern guys? Because you were up in Atlanta. Obviously, you've seen him in other places. Like he's going to be in Gainesville. And have you ever been in Gainesville?
I have. I've been to Gainesville quite a bit.
It's not a booming metropolis. It's not quite. It's not quite Scuba, Mississippi, like DeAndre we just had in here. Yeah. But it's close. To me, I don't really like Gainesville. I'm sorry.
The thing I think that's really different about there is the type of guys that he's going to be playing with more so than the community there. So I do look forward to seeing how he kind of handles that transition. It's not the cool, laid-back California kids. It's a whole different type of atmosphere.
Yeah, were you surprised he committed that soon?
I wasn't surprised. I kind of heard some rumblings that that's where he was going to go.
Yeah.
So I kind of saw it coming. I saw the writing on the wall. So I figured he'd end up there. I was kind of shocked that he committed from USC in the first place, but after that, I kind of figured he'd end up at Florida.
Yeah. So I want to kind of shift just a little bit, and then we'll finish up back with the Gators. But you also train Deshaun Watson, and he was. It's funny. I'm just going to be real with you. You trained two of the guys that we talked about the most, one of which was my favorite quarterback in the draft, Deshaun Watson, and the other one of which I didn't have a whole lot of interest in, and Josh Dobbs. But Deshaun Watson I stinking love, and he is now with a rival of the Jags. What do the Jags have to look forward to in facing this guy?
They look like they're going to have a lot of trouble on their hands.
Is he that? I mean, you project him in the NFL to be that good, like right away?
Right away. I mean, I think everybody's going to have some transitions kind of struggles. So I don't imagine he'll probably start the first week, but I know by the second time they play, he'll be the guy at the helm. And I think that he picks up things really, really well. And the things that he provides to the Texans is going to be something different than they've had over the years, because now Bill O'Brien can not only stretch you horizontally and vertically with the pass game, but there's going to be some things that he's going to be able to do with his legs that are going to make it really tough on NFL defenses with somebody as talented as Deshaun.
I mean, with the Texans, if you've got a quarterback that's got a pulse, you got a chance. I mean, so obviously it can't be any worse than what they've had before. But I guess explain this. I mean, you would know more about this as well. I mean, again, they got a good running game, dynamic wide receivers. Like, that's kind of what his game seemed to be like in Clemson. You know, he thrives off of the play action and being able to make the smart reads. Do you think that's something that'll translate, or is that even kind of what he actually is good at? I mean, I'm not a quarterback guy. I'm a running back.
I understand. I think that Deshaun has the ability to really be successful in any type of offense as long as he gets the opportunity to pick it up. But Bill O'Brien does so much in terms of full field reads. I think that takes advantage of Deshaun's ability, like his mental capacity. He's really, really sharp. I think he's sharper than many people give him credit for. And I think that he gets to use all those different things, the checks at the line. He puts a lot on the quarterback's shoulders with the Houston Texans. So he's got a lot to handle, and I think that's going to kind of stress him a little bit early in the season, but as he gets going and really picks it up, he's going to be very successful.
So we talk, obviously, in Jacksonville a lot about Blake Bortles. I don't know how much you've gotten to really dig in and watch Blake, but just impressions you have of him and obviously last year it was not only a mechanics issue, but it turned into something bigger with pick six after pick six after pick six. How hard is it for a guy to get over that and then mechanically be able to come in, in a 6-month offseason, 5-month offseason, completely changed and completely ready to go?
So, I think Blake is just demonstrating a lot of the things that people saw when they saw the flaws prior to him coming out in the draft in terms of his throwing mechanics. He drops the ball a little bit, which elongates his throwing motion. So a guy who can normally get the ball out with a foot stride of 0.25 and get the ball out of his hands, he's probably like a 0.36, 0.37. So everything just takes a little bit longer. I think that causes a bit of the issues with the pick sixes. This is the NFL. He didn't play like at the highest level in terms of college football. So now you get to see guys with that extra tenth of a second. That means a whole lot. Guys get to drive on balls, and then things start to snowball. It becomes more of a mental thing for him now. So now he starts thinking about throwing picks, and picks start happening when you start thinking about it. So I really wish Blake the best. He has kind of an uphill battle in terms of his mechanics, and then just getting his teammates back on his side. I think Blake is a great guy. I've actually got a chance to spend some time with him. He does have a ton of talent, and it's like, can he harness that now so he can be successful this upcoming year, because it's a big year for him.
So what do you
think if he
my bad, I'm sorry. So what do you think about them simplifying the offense for him?
I think you can simplify it as much as you want. It's less about that in terms of he's just got to be a better decision maker. I don't think they put too much on his shoulders. I got a chance to watch a lot of Jacksonville take last year just because I was confused as to what was going on. And he just was struggling in terms of decision making, and then he just wasn't throwing the ball great. If you're not throwing the ball well in the NFL, it's really tough to be successful.
It's funny that you say that about just the simplifying of the offense, because we talked about this, I guess, sometime last week on our show. Is when I look at Blake, and I try to keep a perspective on it that I can convey, not like I'm having a conversation with one of you guys, but it really is kind of simple with him, man. It's like A equals B, A plus B equals C, which means he gets in such a hurry because it does take him so long to release the ball that he's trying to make a decision before it needs to be made, it almost seems like. And then it ends up costing not just him, but it ends up costing the whole team. And now you've got a whole city wondering, did we mess up on a draft, and should we have drafted one this year, or are we going to draft one next year? And now he's in this contract year Q where they had to guarantee him the next option, which was $18 million. And so it's like there's a lot riding on Blake and his flawed mechanics, which flawed mechanics, pressure equals issues, man.
Yeah, anytime you're in a situation and the things that you've built your game on, you don't really feel like you can stand firm on or stand true to, then you've got some real problems. So, I mean, it's going to be he's got a long road to hoe in terms of being really successful this upcoming season.
So we had DeAndre Johnson in for a couple segments a little while ago, and he told
I
us to take
him.
a look. Yeah, he's a baller. He's a baller. But we got this conversation, and I want your opinion on this. Is there a QBU in college? Is there a place right now in college where if you are the dude that you go to get developed, or has that kind of gone away? Is it Florida State? Is there even one right now?
It's funny, and you guys are going to think I'm crazy for saying this. There's the two schools that I actually would send my kids to. Like there's probably three schools. If I'm a dad and my kid plays quarterback and I want him to be really successful at the quarterback position, the three schools that I would send him to are Florida State University, work with Jimbo Fisher. I think he does a tremendous job. Clemson. They just have so many guys there that it's hard to struggle as a quarterback.
Yeah. And
then the University of Florida. I say Florida because Doug Nussmeier, you've got Matt McElwain. I'm sorry, I just butchered his name. But the head coach. And they've developed like 5 NFL quarterbacks, guys I don't even think were super talented. They've sent those guys to the league, so they obviously have the pedigree where they can get guys to leave.
You're right.
That's what I'd be looking for.
You're right, Q. I do think you're crazy on that
one. Yeah, I think somebody. I think knowing
I'm a Florida fan.
You got an SEC handshake. Somebody gave you one of those to say that. I mean, the guys that go to the NFL from Florida go to the NFL from other places.
No.
My man at NC State. You got. They've done a really good job getting quarterbacks on rosters, just not out of there. Are you talking about in general in the history?
Yeah, in general, those guys are coaching pedigree. I want my guys around good coaches, and that's what I want. I don't think that Florida has not been the quarterback school in quite some time, but I want my guys around good coaching, and that's what I'd be sending them there for. Not the brand name of University of Florida at this juncture.
Right.
I want my son around coaches that brush their teeth.
Man, come on. Why you cannot get off of him or LeVar Ball's teeth?
Cool thing. Have you noticed that the recruiting is picked up for University of Florida this week?
Okay, why?
Do you know what this week is?
Oh, Shark Week.
It is Shark Week. It is kicked up. Congratulations. It's no coincidence.
See.
No coincidence.
See. All right. We're wrapping things up here with Q. Q, so just if you can put it into just one sentence, two sentences, what are we getting at the University of Florida in Matt Corral? Like, what does the future look like here? Is this the dude? Is this the guy that finally gets us a quarterback that we haven't had since Tim Tebow?
He's going to give you something special. I think you guys got a great chance with Malik Zaire this year. And I know Del Rio's going to fight for the job, but I think Malik is really has some gifts and will be able to do some things in that offense. So let's hope for you guys Malik does it for you. And if not, then Matt Corral may have to be your guy.
You think he's better than Felipe Franks?
I'm not sure if Felipe Franks is ready to lead an SEC team this upcoming year. Will he be ready? I think so. But if you're talking about Matt Corral physically right now, no, I don't think he's at the point of Felipe. Felipe has an absolute hose. But I heard throughout the spring he really did a good job picking us off. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does.
All right, Q. Well, man, we need to make this a regular thing.
Anytime you guys want me on, I'm here. So you just let me know.
All right, my man. I'll hit you up soon.
Sounds good, fellas. Have a good one. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
Yeah, let's hit a break. When we come back, let's get into just some general news and notes and kind of expand on a little bit of a couple of things he said. I think he said something about Blake that knowing Quincy the way I do, that I want to get into.
Okay.
On the other side as well. We'll be right back.
What was Quincy's last name again?
Avery.
Avery. I'll make sure he gets some mention in the description.
How much time we got, Scott?
4 minutes.
No, Q that's the hottest quarterback trainer in the country.
Yeah. Besides you.
My day rate his is about 3 times.
Really?
Good luck getting on his schedule. He's good. We work together at a couple of camps.
Uh-huh.
Dude knows his stuff, man.
So he's up in Atlanta?
Yeah. He's based out of Atlanta, but he works at IMG for like
That's down South Florida, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And flies all over. Dudes.
Cool.
Yeah. What?
Family buddy. This what I wanted.
Hey, Don.
Is this what you want?
I thought so. They got they can fix I thought it was like replacing the light bulb is easy. I thought he broke the light. Like,
I'm tired of people.
Thanks for telling me. I'm at the station right now.
That's what I want to do. Let me do my thing.
I thought today was yard week.
I'm trying to explain it.
You got it.
That's like every other.
Well, I mean, I'm not like this thing, but I'm on social media. This manager for that they give me.
I got you. All right, well, thanks for the heads up. I'll put out the camera when I get home.
What you got going? You working with
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
You going to school?
Yeah.
No,
You know, I was thinking about it last night and it's
I'm trying to save up because I'm on ultimately, I want to be either what y'all do or studio animals.
I got you. Okay.
But it's ties at 7. I don't know what he is. Indian guy, I think that's what it is. He's at 8. And I don't want to get it confused. Apparently, that's really bad thing to do. 10 o'clock is when it shows up. And then 1 is on the basketball player. Yeah, from Michigan. No, not that kid. He went to Bishop Kenny too, but it's another kid. But, all right.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. Wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat and a 6'4" baller.
The Sports Den on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Oh, Dom's always got jokes, man.
It's just real what Dom said. Dom is awesome.
I like the. I'd pay money to have your intern feed James bad info to make him look like a fool on there.
I do enough of that, man. That was really bad, dude. Like, that's funny, man. I mean, you'll get better, right?
Well, all right. Let's just let people in for a second. So we're on break, and my man says, "Hey, y'all know Bo Beach?"
Like, that's like one of my favorite kids that I've ever trained.
James like, "Yeah, man, that's my dude." So he says, "Oh, he just signed a professional contract in Switzerland." James like, "Oh, that's awesome." So James whips out the phone, texts Bo Beach, said, "Hey, congratulations." Problem is, it wasn't Bo Beach.
Yeah.
It wasn't even his Twitter account.
Bo's like
it was Bebe Daniels.
Yeah. He's like, "Thanks, coach. I don't really know what you're talking about, but." It's like, and here's the thing where I should have. And it's not all the intern's fault. It's my fault for even believing that, because Bo just came off of an ACL injury. Like, he can't be prepared.
So you were really happy for him.
So I was thinking, like, man, he's recovering well, and then I should have just been like, I'm just glad I didn't, like, breaking news.
Yeah,
because people would have been blowing him up. Like the 3 people that listen to our show would be blowing him up and being like, "Hey, man, congratulations."
Based on the text line, there's a lot more than 3 tonight.
No, that's because we had DeAndre.
No, you don't think it was us?
No, I'm not saying it was us.
Let me grab Tommy, and then I want to get into this this Blake Bortles stuff. What's up, Tom?
What's up, boys?
Hey, man.
I figured I'd give you a little shameless plug. I'm leaving on my vacation with my boys. We're going to stay at the Comanche Cove Inn for a couple nights and fish for Scottish Shanks for a couple days, and pay back to the 1010 XL boys. You guys want any fish? You want me to draw some off to y'all?
I'm still waiting on my ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, me too. Look here, these 60-hour weeks. Yeah, look here. I like y'all on Wednesdays, but it's hard to stop at 3 o'clock. And, yeah, Daddy's making money. I'm sorry.
You know what?
Honestly,
Tom,
sport don't care about ribs.
Honestly, Tom, I wouldn't even know what to do with the fish if I got it.
We'll bring you some black and red fish. Or well, actually, we're going to go. We're hoping to catch a couple cobia. That's really. And after that, I'll bring the grill and we'll cook them at the studio. You're across the street now, huh?
Yeah. Have you ever eaten cobia, James?
Oh yeah.
I don't eat fish.
You don't eat fish at all?
You don't. What? This is my bad ear. My dad hit me too many. What?
Yeah,
What?
I don't eat fish at all.
Really?
Yep.
Like shrimp?
Man, that shrimp is not fish.
Well, how about lobster?
I don't really like lobster.
Really?
I don't like the texture.
Steak and potatoes, huh? You and Corey Yarborough?
Yeah,
Steak and potatoes?
I'll eat steak and potatoes all day. I like snow crab legs.
Yeah.
I just don't like
crawfish.
Just because you like James.
Yep, you saw the shirt I wore on Saturday.
I didn't until you said something. Yeah.
Crawfish is too much work for a little bit of meat.
I'm with you on that. I'm with
that's a
that.
good
Blue
point.
crabs too, man. Look here, I stop at shrimp. Yeah.
We all have a good time, Tom.
Oh, we will. I'll call in. We'll be there Wednesday. We'll check in. But all right, boys.
All right.
I just had to say something. See
y'all. So I want to get into what Quincy Avery went and said about Blake.
Okay.
Quincy's what he didn't say says more to me than anything else. And what Quincy didn't say was that, I think Blake's going to be fine. And when he said, look, I watched a lot of film on him. I don't get a whole. I respect Quincy's opinion on quarterbacks enough to bring him on my show when he's in the same business I'm in. Right?
That's big.
Okay. And whenever the guy says what he just said about starting quarterback at for our hometown Jacksonville Jags, that don't give me a whole lot of confidence.
What I'll say is this: when we were talking about Matt Castle or whatever the kid's name is, down in UF, very glowing reviews, on point, very excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
When you asked him about Deshaun Watson, on point, we didn't go into we didn't ask him about eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure it would have been on point, very energetic, very excited. We asked him about DeAndre. He didn't train DeAndre.
Right.
Love that kid.
Yep.
Good kid. He's a baller. You asked him about Blake. About that.
I can't really vouch for that.
About that. Do some good things. Went to church. He paid his tithes. I seen him help an old lady across the street one time. It was really good. I mean, he even went down and broke down like 1.5 steps per centimeter before you throw the ball or something like that. That's when you know somebody's reaching for things. Is when they start breaking down things like that. He didn't say anything bad. He just really reached for a lot of good things.
It's what he didn't say. Yeah, it's what he didn't say. And listen, I mean, Trent Dilfer got killed in this city for what he said about Blake and more of what he said about the city of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But the camp that I work with Quincy on, I also work with Trent on, and I'll say they're telling me the same stuff. And when they say they watch film, they watch more film than anybody not coaching football should watch. From angles that I didn't even know existed. And so it's it's discouraging. Let me put it that way.
Gotta respect it.
Yeah. It's not a guess. It's an educated guess. That'd be a hypothesis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See there.
Look at you spanning that knowledge.
This Gary and Conley thing. Have you seen this?
No.
Remember Gary and Conley, the DB from Ohio State, who right before the draft got accused of rape.
Yeah.
And his agents did a good job of trying to really just say, hey,
he fell. He didn't fall all the way out of the first round. He
went to the Raiders.
Yeah.
He's still unsigned, but he's still under investigation. He's still under investigation for rape. And so what the question is like, how do you sign this guy to a contract right now?
Well, is it all the first round guaranteed, or is it the top 15 picks?
No, it's first round.
So all first round.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, they're reporting for camp now, and this guy's still under investigation. He's unsigned. If I'm the team, I ain't about to I want to know what's going on. Your agent told me when I drafted you that it was a non-issue, and of course they probably had to provide some type of documentation.
They probably thought it was a non-issue. I mean, it could just be an overzealous, prosecutor. I mean, just because you get cleared, just because someone says that they don't want to press charges, doesn't mean the state that can't press charges. So I mean, the girl might have cleared him and said it wasn't him, but they may want to go through with it.
This goes back to Urban Meyer, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean
not Urban, but I'm just saying, just that program,
it's always some kind of stigma. You can't fool me and lie to me and say that I'm going to Ohio, like what the tight end Nada, which I get it when he said he was going to Georgia to be a better. You can't tell me I'm going to Ohio State so they can show me how to be a better man.
Yeah.
Like, nah, you can say I'm going there because I want to go to the NFL. I'm going there because it's actually supposed to be a prestigious academic institution or whatever. But don't go up there and tell me because it's the only flaw I have about Tim Tebow is how much he vouched for him being his coach down there, how great a person that he was, and how they went to Bible study and prayed together. Like, it just makes me like, dude, you ain't have to sell out like that, Tebow. You could have just said, I know the guy, and it would have been good.
Yeah. Well, Hugh Freeze proved that coaches will say or do anything to recruit.
And they'll say or do, even call the wrong number 39,000 times.
The Packers made an interesting statement that the Jags won't agree with. Packers said that they will never give up a home game for an international game. Never.
Well, part of it is because they're like we talk about our city is, but our city's behind the Jaguars, but not like Green Bay. They own it. I guess you have to you actually own that seat. That's your seat. And bequeath it.
You can even buy stock in the Green Bay Packers.
So I mean,
it's a little absurd since you can't sell stock. You can buy it, but you can't sell it. Like, it's kind of a weird thing.
Can you profit off of it?
No.
So what's the point of having a Green Bay Packers stock?
I have never figured that out. I think it's just like to say that you technically own a piece of the Packers, but you already do. I don't really know. There's not a trading market for Green Bay Packers stock.
Well, I guess. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Bottom line is they know that that's 8 games that they're going to sell out.
Text line just said, am I really hearing this right? An FSU fan throwing rocks at another program?
Man, that's so BS. And stop. Again, this means that you really don't analyze or look at things. FSU is nowhere near as much trouble as the other programs in our state and most of the other guys. I mean, jeez. Good night. And actually, I wanted to talk about that. Did you see the – well, I know you didn't. About the UF attorney?
No.
That pretty much he represents all the guys represent Callaway.
Oh, yeah.
And how he has all this information on the University of Florida, and said if they don't start changing the ways they do stuff, he's going to release information, and he's starting to release information. Like people looking up sites that they're not supposed to look up. I mean, the article is actually well written, and it talks about him, and he wants his $400,000. He said, you're going to give me $400,000.
So he's doing what Houston Nutt's attorney did.
Pretty much. He's trying to, he's extorting them. I guess it's probably a better way to look at it. Blackmail. I guess that's a nicer way to say the same thing.
Wow. We got to take our final break before I come back, and he's got to start the other music with the intro music and all that kind of stuff. This 3 hours has flown by.
Pretty exciting show.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
My man said, he really says it. Like, this is deep, dog. What's the guy's name? I never remember his name. The guy who he brought up the guy who, if anything, like, he's not necessarily always a lead attorney, but Ben Crump is a spinner. Johnson.
That's the attorney's name. What were we saying? I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying yeah, Ben Crump.
Okay, so you had a public records case. They agreed to settle.
Coach Matthew Driscoll, UNF men's basketball. Our athletic department uses Southeast orthopedic specialists for our student athletes, and we highly recommend them when you need orthopedic services as well. We trust Southeast orthopedic specialists for any and all of our bone, muscle, and joint injuries. Their fellowship-trained doctors are the best in the business. We appreciate the endorsements from our high school and college coaches. This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Next time you need
there was a public
orthopedic care,
records
you
lawsuit
can rely
filed
on our team
in
at Southeast orthopedic specialists.
Thinning or balding hair? IHRS can now stimulate hair growth and reverse thinning hair for both men and women by using your own stem cells through platelet-rich plasma treatments. You will obtain rapid new hair growth through your own stem cells by using your own blood through platelet-rich plasma. This is a safe and easy procedure with no downtime. Now you can stimulate hair growth and obtain healthier and more hair as early as 3 months after one treatment.
A warning crusade.
IHRS at 904-268-IHRS. That's 904-268-IHRS. Results may vary. Now you can stimulate hair growth and reverse thinning hair by using
And apparently, there's a lot of other guys and people have done this, like in Oregon.
crown area and entire top of your head.
So how much did Derrick Rose get? About 2.1 mil.
For more information, call 904
Is that like the vet minimum for him? I know that ain't a lot.
Yeah, it is.
That's a good sign for life.
This is 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
I mean, if he's anything,
He averaged 18 points a game last year.
really?
How much did he play? He played 2 years?
Yeah.
That's perfect. Is he? He's a point, or is he a 2?
Point.
Oh.
Very different styles than Kyrie too.
Ship.
You seen the Kings 2 days ago actually just offered the Cavs a deal for Kyrie. They offered the Cavs De'Aaron Fox and a bunch of draft picks for Kyrie.
Really?
Cleveland turned it down.
Nah, they're not gonna ship him to nobody who can win.
Kings not to win.
They're gonna send him to be miserable. They'll get paid. They're gonna send him behind in New York.
You guys have a couple minutes to wrap up.
I got something about this.
difference between me and them. They trying to get the ones and trying to get the M's. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4, and just 5 years, 40 million more. You are now looking at the 40 million bar. I break my tap channel, I'm the 100 million man.
You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Check this out.
What's up?
So World Series of Poker is over.
Mm-hmm.
So a 25-year-old won the whole thing, $8.15 million. okay, is what he won. He allowed some of his friends to buy a percentage of his action before the tournament for $60. Okay, so like $60 got you 1% or something like that, 0.5%, whatever it was. So he didn't need it. He just offered them the opportunity.
Right.
So 4 guys took him up on it, put $60 towards his $10,000 entry fee. Each come away with $40,750.
Say that again?
Each one of them get $40,750. They put $60 in.
Jeez.
Yeah. Another guy said he wanted a little more action and bought like 10%. So he gave him $420. He gets $244,000.
Man.
He bought 3%. Yeah. For $420. So he got $244,000. That's kind of cool. And the guy was like, I didn't need the money, but what he wanted was a bunch of buddies of his had small stakes in, so they would help support him. So, like, as he was going through the tournament, they would be there. And
they cheer. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So, kind of a cool thing. We should do that. We should find find somebody who's really good at poker and just give them $60 and buy a percentage.
I'd do it.
I ain't paying for their flight, though.
You pay for the flight?
No. I'm just saying they already got to be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a fun show, man.
That was good. We got to keep doing that up. Keep getting these exclusives.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good. Thanks to DeAndre for coming out. You've been listening to the Sports Den. We'll see you on Saturday, or I'll see you on Saturday. James won't. You've been listening to the Sports Den, brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, coming to you from Thin MD Med Spa Studios. You guys have a great week.